line, much tougher line than we faced in Oakland, that is for sure. But you look at the Wizard Arraez, came over in the month of May, up there in leaders.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is a giant Tuesday night, September 10th, 2024. How's everybody doing out there today? It's the San Diego Padres at 81-64, taking on the Seattle Mariners 73-71. The Padres currently have a 1.5 game lead in the NL wild card. The Mets and the Diamondbacks not that far behind for Seattle, 3 games back in the wild card spot, trying to match up with the Tigers and the Red Sox. We will give you updates as that goes across. The Minnesota Twins trying to keep pace, but they had lost 16 of the last 21 games, which has started to make things very interesting. George Kirby is going to take the mound, 4-seam sinker, slider, split, and knuckle curve. Primarily a 4-seam sinker slider pitcher within the mix of the split and the knuckle curve, but they're coming back from a 5-5 road stand and now open up big 2 games at home here with the San Diego Padres. They already took a couple in this season series. Arraez is going to play left with Julio Rodriguez and Victor Robles on the center and right side. It'll be J.P. Crawford at short with Polanco at second, Rojas and Rayleigh at third and first, and you got your battery alongside Cal Raleigh. This will start with Luis Arraez. Again, I feel like I've just not been able to update my numbers that much because I haven't had to. When the Tigers and the Padres last played each other with the walk-off grand slam, essentially, from Parker Meadows, was the last time that we saw the Padres. First pitch, this one's hit pretty good toward left center. It's going to carry, but Arraez will make the catch just a couple steps before the warning track to left center. And Arraez is turned away on one pitch and really a chance to get on his notes, but that is what you want to hear if you're a Mariners fan. They'll keep him off the board because that's what makes everything else go. Fernando Tatis Jr. batting in 2-hole. It's his 86th game on the season as an adult, a multitude of injuries, 274, 14 bombs, 37 RBI, 53 runs scored, 30 walks, 77 strikeouts. George Kirby's numbers, it's been about, let's say, 3.5 weeks since we covered the Mariners, because again, that ended up with a Parker Meadows ridiculous catch. But George Kirby's numbers have ballooned a little bit, and not in a good way. He was at about 3 in terms of ERA. Now it's about 3.61 since about 3.5 weeks. 11-10, 3.61, 111 WHIP, 21 walks, 162 strikeouts. He does feature a 4-seam sinker, slider, splitter, knuckle curve, primarily 4-seam sinker, slider. 0-2. This is a good splitter for Kirby, but that one's all the way for Tatis. Try to stay alive at 0-2. So it is an elite pitching matchup because you have Kirby and you have Darvish. Darvish in the bottom of the first will be making his 3rd start since coming back off of the injured list. It's a good look this week at the wild card portions of a few different teams we have in a couple days. Red Sox, Yankees, and then the O's and the Tigers. This one grounded right to JP. We'll toss it over to Rayleigh. No problem. 2 down, and Kirby's got a good start here. Scroll back down to the portion of my lineup here, and it'll be Jurickson, Profar, the last hope in the top of the first as we're just underway here. T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. John, I'm here with you on the call. I know I always think about Cooper Hopkins when I end up doing these games. I know the M's are very near and dear to his heart in this race, but a little bit too tight for him to get back on the broadcast side of it. 87, that one split the plate on a splitter that did not split, but it was taken for a strike. And Profar is behind it now, 0-1. It's got a lot of power in this bat. A little bit of a breakout season for Jurickson. 98 on the inside black, and Profar was not ready for it as he shakes his head in front of Raleigh and now will step out of the batter's box. 277 average, 22 bombs, 82 RBI, 81 runs, 70 walks, 89 strikeouts. Very good season for the former Texas Ranger. 98 again. This one's whistled down the left field line, and we'll do it again. Kirby, when he's right, he does top out of the 98, which we're already seeing right now. So the velocity is already there in full intrigue, all the way down to an 83 on the knuckle curve. It's a pretty good split there across the miles per hour there for Kirby. Good split. And this one is just out of the reach of a jumping J.P. Crawford. Profar went down low to get his bat head on it and get a single. Pretty good piece of hitting there. Manny Machado is cleaning up now for Mike Shilt's squad. With 2 outs and Profar at first, and the Mariners are going to try to make sure that Profar stays right where he is. I'll go ahead and mention this alongside the YouTube question. When we get more of those votes across, I have a critical AL wildcard question to ask you. Manny Machado waits on the LO, again 97 in on the kitchen. Machado will fall straight back close to the catching line. So you got Profar at first after he reached for a single and went down to get a bat hit on the splitter. Pretty good piece of hitting. Still 2 outs as Arraez and Tatis fly out ground out respectively. No lead essentially for Profar. Not really a threat to go, but Kirby's going to toss over nonetheless just to make sure. Thank you guys for joining in on the Twitter, X Space, and the YouTube side. You can follow along, listen in. I join right now anytime. Leave your comments, questions, and concerns. I know that there's a lot of things that you guys could be doing today, considering what's on. The announcements have been made. I will make a video as far as one of the tech announcements a little bit later in the week. Might be as soon as tomorrow, because I got to get the prep for Yankees and Red Sox on Thursday, and then the Saturday contest between the O's and the Tigers. 0-2. Kirby going to try to put away Machado right here. 12 pitches into his day. 87 gets the call just outside, but I guess it was close enough on a slider. Machado punches out, maybe just the tiniest stitching of the baseball in the zone. And the M's get to give up a single, but nothing more. Profar has kept it first. Let's go to the bottom of the first, scoreless.
So I think it's really unique and special that we've experienced so many things in life together. Knowing that he's getting good nutrition and that he has energy is a huge relief for me and my dad. He's a good little being. We're so grateful to have had this timing with him, so let's keep it going.
Just going to get a couple notes here and during the break, and then we will continue. So it's just going to be across. If you have any comments, questions, let me know. I will give you a scoring update as we get further along in this game across the board for the MLB, because you know there's a lot of pertinent ones today.
I guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Cyclists.
In the Upper Peninsula, we're all about keeping it fresh, like water, snow, and of course, ideas. On the shores of Lake Superior, Northern Michigan University has been fueling students' quest for academic adventure since 1899. We've got over 180 degree programs with updated living and learning facilities, and are ranked as one of the safest college campuses in the nation. So what are you waiting for? Take the plunge and come see what true Northern Michigan is all about.
Putting the bats here against the veteran Yu Darvish. You see Victor Robles. Good to see him back at the top of his lineup. Push JP Crawford down in minute 8.
So Victor Robles gets set to lead off the bottom of the first here for the M's at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. John out here with you on the call. This is going to be a critical look at 3 baseball games this week in the wild card hunt. Yu Darvish gets set to toe the rubber here. And this is a splitter, and Robles not even close on that one. 0-1, 59 innings, 17 walks, 57 strikeouts. For Yu Darvish, his arsenal is off the charts as far as what he will feature. We will get into more of that going forward. Does not reach for the bunt there as Robles, now 1-1. As you look for Yu, talk about a slider, four-seam sinker. That's his primary, but he also features a sweeper, splitter, curve, knuckle curve, cutter, an 8-pitch mix that he can throw in at any time, and he's pretty capable of throwing every single one of those for strikes. The Iranian-Japanese pitcher there, Yu Darvish, 4-3 this season, 351, 112 whip, 57 strikeouts, 17 walks. Third start since coming off the injured list. Robles will pop it up. and this will be Xander in his primary position that he used to play for the Red Sox at short. I've been seeing play a lot of second lately. As Yu Darvish, they're showing his mix. So 26% of the time it's a slider, about 22 is a four seam. Those are your primary. But again, that sinker, sweep, split, curve, knuckle curve, and cut all will see time as he can throw those at any count at any time for strikes. That's what makes Darvish very dangerous. Julio. Now we'll dig in. This is right to Bogaerts. One pitch, easy toss over, and no problem with the out at first. Donovan Solano will be playing first today. So within 5 pitches, Darvish got a couple outs. Cal Raleigh, he's affectionately named the Big Dumper. Again, he's got a lot of power that will supply that. Again, he's going to strike out a little bit here and there for Cal Raleigh, but he is a threat to go deep. He got 60 walks, we got 161 punchies with a 213 average, but on that 213 is 29 tanks. 95, excellent location on a fastball on the low inside black at the belt. Make it 0-1. 1 for 6 is Raleigh against Darvish. Got a 7-game hitting streak going right now. Sitting 345 during this stretch. 95 on a fastball that went way low. We'll take Higashioka out of the crouch. 27 multi-RBI games this season. And when he's got more than 1 run scored in a game, the Mariners are 21-6. That is good for them. They do not score a lot of runs. Splitter will be way low. 2-1. A lot of movement here for Darvish early on, again, as you would expect. 63 RBI in 2022, 75 in 23, 90 in 2024 for Raleigh, so his numbers are progressively better. That's a good swing for Cal. See you later, right field. Solo shot. He went down and got the bat head on a fastball and did not miss it. And the M's are on the board. His 30th tank of the year. So number 29 was sitting on 29 until now, as he took that one about 400 feet. He went down and got that baseball and crushed it on the right field line for Cal Raleigh. And that's, again, affectionately why he's got the Big Dumper nickname. Just a gorgeous swing. Maybe a little bit out in front of that as well, but he took the time to be able to stay with it, get low, get on the baseball, and hit it out. That's excellent work. Randy Rosarena will get a look in the bat. He thought the M's might go quietly. Cal Raleigh had other ideas, as it's a 1-0 lead for the M's, and the Tridents are definitely up. So Rosarena cleanup. He's normally around a 260 hitter, but this year hitting 221. This one's cute. Bogaerts going to get all 3 outs. But for San Diego, it's Cal Raleigh that ends up doing damage against them. Seattle takes the lead on a solo shot from Cal. 1-0 M's. Let's go to the second.
Jesse loves spring.
But since we found out she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
At first, we thought the problem was our puppy. Look, that's it there. Or something outside.
But the culprit was our old detergent. So we fixed the time-free and gentle. It cleans better and doesn't leave behind irritating residue.
And it has no dyes or perfume, so it's gentle on your skin. Please, Rose.
Time-free and gentle liquid is EPA Safer Choice certified. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be fine. Step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get super fast speeds and low-lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience inning after inning. Stream sports from the best seat in the house with Xfinity because it's only live once.
Enjoy.
Can't believe Little Caesars has free delivery this week and there's no catch.
Wait, but that's what we do. We catch. I catch football. I catch rice and strangers.
I'll take a slice.
I catch big old fish.
Guys, it's free delivery. Meaning it's actually free, so there's no catch.
Get me off this wall! Get game day delivered from Little Caesars with free delivery for a limited time.
Pizza, pizza.
Let's score the game.
The new Hyundai Elantra with America's best warranty. Gives joy.
Check out the T-Mobile coverage stand here at T-Mobile Flight Cloudy night. Well, up the skies, but the rain so up here, the beauty of this remote park. You can feel that fall coming in. Yeah, very quickly though. Absolutely.
They say it might rain in Seattle tonight, but it doesn't matter. We're under the retractable roof here. That's why I like doing these games. Never have to worry about the weather side of it. Jake Cronenworth is the batter here to lead off the second. Fastball high at 97. Cronenworth will spit on. Be 5, 6, and 7. At least you'll have Cronenworth, Bogaerts, and the youngster who was an absolute wonder, Jackson Merrill, will be batting at 7th. Cronenworth just 1 for 1 and 97 high in the same spot. So Kirby's going to have to find the strike zone here. He does have a run to work with because in the bottom of the first, Cal Raleigh did an excellent job getting bat on ball. He went out and reached for that one and served it to right field and gave the M's the lead. 97, that was in the same spot again, and Cronenworth is having some words with the home plate umpire there. Let me refresh my RotoWire MLB lineups here on this side and close that pop-up. It's David Arrieta in behind the plate right now calling balls and strikes, and I don't blame Cronenworth there. Probably should have been a ball. 2-1. That one is a really good pitch there on a curve. 2-2. They caught the top part of the zone as the M's bench boss continues to look around here. In the sense of Dan Wilson, Scott Service has been fired over the last couple. This is going to be a tough play. Polanco slides, throws across, and makes a great play. Jorge Polanco flashes the leather. That was going to be tough for him to get to. Able to stab on it, going to his left. Gets on his horse, makes the toss over. Nice smooth feed there to Rayleigh. And that was right on a dime just before Cronenworth could step on the bag. So M's get the first run. Then they get the first nice flashy play on defense. Good work there for Jorge Polanco, the former Minnesota Twin. Again, we will have a scoring update to go along as we go across this game. Bogaerts, this was in toward his dome. He's able to get out of the way there, thankfully. So in the last road trip, they only won one game against the Angels. They split the 4-game series against the Athletics, and then won 2 against the Cardinals to go 5-5 in the 10 games in the mix of what they said. Well, that shows 6, but 5-5 in the last 10. And now they go back home to Seattle here for some games. The 2-game series, I believe, against the Pods before we end up moving over here again. 1-1. Way high out of the crouch. My goodness. Kirby in his second inning on his fastball. Looks like he's just overthrowing it right now. 9 home runs for Bogaerts this season, fewest since 2015. He's still a threat to hit one if you make a mistake in location. 97 blows him away. That one did find the top edge of the strike zone. Did see Bogaerts hit one last week when Casey Mize made a very poor mistake on a slider that was right in the bat path. It was a wall scraper, but Bogaerts can still do it. 2-2. 86, it's served right to Robles. No problem there for the former Washington Net. And 2 up, 2 down at the top of the second here for Kirby. It's good that Kirby's going to have a good outing in this game. That's what you want to see. Again, his numbers have shot up quite a bit. When you see your earned run average go from about 3.01 to 3.61 in a matter of a couple of weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, that just means you're absolutely getting rocked a little bit. Kirby's a much better pitcher than that. Jackson Merrill is very, very dangerous. And you got to make sure here that you keep him on rails. If he does get something, you want to limit him to a solo shot. 290 for the rookie, 23 bombs, 83 RBI. His 52 extra base hits leads the team. That's a good curve at 82, but it misses low. 1-1. 38 multi-hit games for Jackson. 3rd on the team. 24 pitches in the Kirby's day. He's got 1 2/3 innings scoreless. Trying to finish this one off. Good snap there on the curve, but that's just outside at 2-1. John in there with you. I got the home feed for Root Sports on the MLB TV network. We'll have that for the rest of the regular season before we start to move over into the playoff side of it between TBS, ESPN, and the like. 2-1. That one way outside the zone. 3-1. Donovan Solano would be next should Merrill reach on a walk or anything else. He's getting his warm-up swings in right now. Solano at 288 on deck. Big fastball at 97, and right now nothing wrong with the velocity for George. About 97, 98 when he is locating. He's hitting on the inside or outside black, where he's missed high when he's missed badly. Full count pitch. 97. This is a pop-up. Rosarina is going to have a look at it. He'll make a catch. Just shy of foul territory as Kirby gets through the first 6 of 7 batters, only giving up 1 hit. We go to the bottom of the second. Mariners up front, 1-0.
The 2024 Cadillac Lyric started $59,995. Visit your local Cadillac dealer today. Jesse loves wearing Cadillac.
But since we found out she has sensitive skin, we even like detective too.
At first, we thought Carl was a puppy. Look, Carl, some flare or something outside.
What the culprit was our old detergent. So we switched to concrete in general. It cleans better and doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
And it has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin. Please,
Concrete gentle liquid is equally safe choice certified. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide.
I was so excited when I heard this sandwich was back. I was like cloud nine. It's cloud nine. What's up? This is Mike.
and this is Celia.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A honey pepper pimento chicken sandwich.
Is the symphony of flavors. You can always count on that crispy, tender, juicy chicken, and it's got pickled jalapenos, and it's so good.
My favorite part is the pimento cheese. Topped off with the honey, it all comes together perfectly. I like the original.
I like the spicy chicken fillet, but either way,
You're getting a winner.
real customers pay for their testimonials.
Litter bag. But cat litters are so heavy it hurts. If you suffer from litter bag, try Tiny Cats Lightly. Now with a snail named
When we start the bottom of the second inning, it'll be Luke Raley, Justin Turner, and Jorge Polanco, 5, 6, and 7, due up for the M's at 73 and 71 this season, just 3 games out of the wild card. I will give you a scoring update in just a little bit. Across the league, very pertinent matchups going on today. And with about 17, 18 games left to go in the calendar season for most of these squads, time's running out to make a run. So Darvish and Raley is going to show bunt here in the 5th part of the order. That one is fouled off for a strike, make it 0-1. Darvish just 12 pitches into his day. He's already given up 1 run for the first 3 outs, courtesy of a Cal Raleigh solo shot. And that is why the score is 1-0 M's. 4 for 8 is Raley against Darvish. How many of those are bunts, I wonder? 0-1. 74 on a curve. That is the low point of the miles per hour for Darvish, as you can normally ramp it up still about 96. It's not around 98, 99 anymore, but still with the 8-pitch mix, you can pretty much dazzle any sort of hitters and confound them. He was going for a splitter there off a bunt. It's 2-1. Raley doesn't offer. So he must see some sort of shift on the third base side for Machado or Bogaerts that he thinks that he can split it into. But 33 of 49 RBI have come at T-Mobile Park for Raley. So this is where he's comfortable in his home ballpark. Shows bunt again, but knuckle curve is way below the zone, now 3-1. I think he pretty much just want to swing free and easy here. Looks like he's trying to hold the triangle button and pull it back. A little bit of bunt cheese from MLB 24. That's what Raley's trying to do right now. That's what he gets in the full count. 3-1 pitch. Big swing! This is, if it's fair, it's gone. It's gone. 2-0. Bunt cheese to home run That is the cheese that you see online. The M's fans are going to take it. 2-0. Another solo shot, his 19th. My oh my, that was an absolute abuse of the baseball. And that was one of the situations, again, you see in the video game, you see those fake bunts to try to mess up the timing of the pitcher. I don't know if that's what happened here, but he got a fastball that was grooved right down the middle, and that was just shy of the foul pole, and stays fair. 2-0 M's on 2 solo takes. And Turner takes a strike. Good slider there at 85. Caught the outside black. Mariners have the lead early, but the Padres have the best batting average in all of baseball. They can absolutely pound and score runs. Another good pitch there on a fastball in the same spot. Again, Cal Raleigh and Luke Raley both with home runs for Seattle. That's why it's 2-0. Early on. So Justin Turner, 0-2. We'll soft serve this thing, and it's going to fall. It was way outside the zone anyway, but Turner able to punch that one into shallow center field. So back-to-back hits given up by Darvish. And I mean, man, oh man, Luke Raley, he couldn't get a better pitch if you had asked him to. On that side, it's velocity, middle. That just split the plate, and Raleigh turns on it and serves it to right field. And the Mariners have a 2-0 lead. So Justin Turner on an 0-2 count will put this one soft serve into center field. Leave to Jorge Polanco to snap on that curve at 77. That one was thrown up in the zone for a strike. Polanco, not the same type of batter that you're used to seeing alongside the Minnesota Twins now with the M's, because he's normally 265 batting average. He's at 204. He's still got power, and he can surprise you if you make a mistake. I think Polanco is still a really good player. I just think he's having a rough year. He is 31. I don't think you lose all of that so quickly yet. I would expect him to bounce back. That's just me. 1-1. Gets set behind the plate as Darvish gets the side from Kashioka and deliver. That was a very good take on a slider just on the outside part of the zone. 2-1. Darvish's pitch count is in good shape here with 22 pitches through 1 inning. But it was Raley that reached on a home run, and now Turner with a single. This is thrown over. Cronenworth gets the toss. Solano can bounce it there, and that's easily turned. So the M's hit into a double play. Still one more out to get, though, for Darvish here in this second. But the Mariners will take the scratch on the chalkboard there. If they can get at least one run in every inning, little fence post scoring, they'll definitely take that, should that be the case if this continues moving forward. Leave it up to J.P. Crawford. J.P. had a phenomenal year last year, but this year, battling a lot of injuries, 87 games played, just 198 on the average side. I think of J.P. more of a 265, 270 hitter. He was someone that Scott Service at the time would throw anywhere between 1 and 9 and feel comfortable. He's just not been good this year. 0 for 6 is Crawford against Darvish. 0-1 after a fastball on the inside part of the black. Crawford gets a good pitch to hit, but he pops it up. This is to Donovan Solano. He makes the catch, but another fence post run scoring. Luke Raley with a solo shot. M's now take a 2-0 lead after 2.
We want you to go ahead and smile. Right now, we're offering new denture wearers a free upgrade to our premium denture for the price of an economy. That's an incredible average savings of $700. Don't wait. Get the smile you've always dreamed of. Take the first step and call 1-800-DENTURE to schedule your consultation today. Remember, this special offer ends October 7th.
Go ahead and smile.
At La Terrafina, we make delicious fish and create serious cravings for every occasion. From brunches with friends to happy moments with family, our savory dishes feature fresh ingredients and inspired flavors. With this protein-packed goodness, you can refuel post-workout and revive your taste buds. Taste after-school snacks and enjoy
time, and every taste, turn to La Terrafina, where flavor lives.
You know not everything will move to the cloud. As CIO, you need a hybrid cloud as unique as your business. A cloud that comes to you and the corners of your enterprise, turning the data you have into the intelligence you need. Opening up opportunities across edge to cloud and everywhere in between. Seamlessly. That's edge to cloud wisely done. That's HPE GreenLake, completing your hybrid cloud.
Let's give you the updates here as far as the scoring. I'll set that in the YouTube comment box for anyone who just joined in. Just a couple of updates for you.
We'll see you tomorrow. Mariners are turning it up with a special fireworks spectacular this Friday against the Rangers. Make sure you're here for the Dance Party Fireworks Night. It's presented by T-Mobile, featuring a playlist curated by world famous DJ Pitbull. Get your tickets at Mariners.com/fireworks. Fireworks early this week. Colorado first inning home run. Luke Roy right off to the second. Home run. George Kirby's got a lead here. George's last inning. Ground out to Fulham in super play. 2-5. He's got Solano.
So Donovan Solano, Kyle Gashioka, and we'll flip back over to Luis Arraez. 9-1 due up here in the top of the third as the Padres are now down 2-0. Have a couple of solo tanks from Cal Raleigh and Luke Raley. 2-0 lead for the M's here early at T-Mobile Park in Washington. John Under with you today on the solo call. If Cooper Hopkins does join in, especially after some of the festivities today, then I'm more than happy to get in him. I know he's got the M's near and dear to his heart, so it's very difficult for him to get on this broadcast because he wears his heart on his sleeve. But again, I know the feeling there alongside the Calgary Flames with him and then the Red Wings for myself, as it can get tough business, especially this time of year. But hey, this is what you want. You want your team trying to play competitive baseball down the stretch to try to get in the playoffs. You'd like to see them make it all the time. I get that. But especially now from where my Tigers are at, I'm just happy to see them playing competitive baseball. And I'm really looking forward to 25 because I think they can steal a spot if they spend some money. Got to be able to do that. They're going to be stuck with Baez for a couple more years. But after that, I think they'd be pretty good in that situation. Donovan Solano, 2-2. The last pitch hit Raleigh in the mask. So he's going to get a few seconds here to shake it off before we set back into the box. Kirby, 32 pitches through the first 6 outs. Doesn't have a ton of power for Donovan, but he does put bat on ball. And again, for Seattle, the way that this ball's moving on here, and with the dome closed, maybe I should kind of shut my trap as far as the home run bar, but just 6 this year so far, 31 RBI, 26 runs scored, 18 walks, 51 strikeouts. 288 hitter this season. 2-2 again. The last one was fouled off. Then at 97, we'll do the same thing. And Solano continuing to try to drive the pitch count up for Kirby here early in this contest. Velocity and everything else has looked very good. I've seen George Kirby a few times this year now. Nothing wrong with the 98, but it's always about location, especially for these young pitchers. That one is hit toward the gap, and this one going to fall in front of Robles. This was a good chase there for Polanco, but no chance for him to get to it. Good at-bat there for the San Diego Padres and Donovan Solano. The Athletics and Astros tied at 2 in the 8th. That would be very pertinent for the M's should the A's get the win, because the AL West is 4.5. The wild card is at 3 games right now, so the wild card looks like the better of the option, but it's not impossible to say the M's can't get back into the AL West if they can just score some runs, because their pitching staff has been good, especially for their starters. Julio racing in the shuttle center field to make the catch on Higashioka. And now we'll turn it over to the top of the lineup for the first time again this game. This Luis Arraez has a runner at first in Solano. So stats with Lowe's, according to the Root Sports feed, most consecutive plate appearances without a strikeout since the year 2000, millennium term. 116 in 2024. Mookie Betts at 129, Juan Pierre at 143, and 147 in 2001 and 2004. That already passed Albert Pujols of 2007 at 109. He's got 116 plate appearances without a punch-out. Again, I kind of look at him as the modern-day Tony Gwynn as far as the bat version. Again, not the fielding and the speed, because, again, you play infield. He's basically the DH now. His last strikeout was August 10th at the Marlins against Rodri Munoz. So it's been a long time. It's been a month exactly. This one is hit very well. This will be a soft single right to Robles. We'll play that one on hop. So Luis Arraez gets on first. That is where he usually is. Again, you say, why do you want to pay these singles hitters? Well, you do that when they hit about 317 on the year, as his batting average is going to go up. And we'll leave it to Fernando Tatis with runners on first and second and one out. This is the dangerous part of the order here. Tatis, Profar, Machado. Unless Tatis hits into a double play, it's going to leave Jurickson Profar next in the 3-hole. So Kirby's going to want to take an extra beat here, make sure he's got all of his thoughts in order. He's completely locked in with Raleigh, because you make a mistake here, Padres could take the lead. 0 for 1 with a ground out in the first. Shakes a few beats, gets a sign from Raleigh, got the glove ready, fastball right down the middle, and that is gone. Fernando Tatis, what did we just say? You got to make sure you get your location and everything else right, because it's going to be 3-2. Well, I didn't mean to call it there. Absolutely killed for Tatis, but it couldn't be any easier. That was right on a tee. George Kirby makes a mistake, and he is going to pay for it dearly. Padres take the lead. 400 feet to right field. That's a fastball middle. His second home run in the last 17 games. No problem for somebody like Tatis. I mean, anybody's going to be able to hit those home runs the way that this is going right now. And that was about as easy as it gets. Robles, a couple courtesy steps, but really that's it and that's all. Now a 3-2 lead for the Padres. And this does not end the danger, because it's Jurickson, Profar, and Manny Machado. This Tatis getting the pose with his boys, Solano and Arraez. So 41 pitches into Kirby's day. He's just given up the big salvo. Now he's got to make sure he keeps it right where it is. Can't do any worse. In this, they're trying to make sure a Tatis fan sunk him. Tatis fan, I think, got the baseball away from a couple of M's fans. So the Road Warrior able to get that one done. Big cut for Profar. Does not find it. All of the home runs today, I should say all of the runs, were courtesy of the home run. All 5. Padres have just taken a 3-2 lead. Jurickson, Profar. This one is in toward his face. This will send him one back at 2-2. John on here with you on the call. Fernando Tatis Jr. has just given the Padres a 3-2 lead courtesy of a 3-run tank. It was Solano able to serve one off the plate for a single, and then Luis Arraez able to get another courtesy single. Let us expect Luis Arraez to get hits. And we're just talking about Kirby not wanting to make a mistake in the middle of the zone. Well, he does that. And that's what causes a detonation at 3-2. Full count pitch. This one right down the middle. Took something off and then Profar way out in front. Again, location for some of these batters right now in this third aren't very good for George. And that is why you've seen the ERA start to balloon over the last few. Again, I don't see anything wrong with the pitch selection or the velocity. It's just the location here for Kirby. He's got to be able to keep away from the middle of the plate, especially from the hitters of the Padres. That's a good fastball. That one's low in the zone. Got Profar swinging and reaching for it at 96. I'm going to leave it up to Manny Machado. Last hope in the top of the third. 96. That one had a little bit of a darting action. Down and inside. You got Profar just underneath the back head. His last outing, 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 runs, 9 strikeouts, no walks. Most in his last 16 starts, the 9 strikeouts. On September 4th, when he got the debut against Oakland. Right now, he's going to need some more run support from the M's. Manny Machado waiting on the 1-0. Get the sign from Raleigh. Set the glove up high on a fastball. Good located fastball there at 96. Manny Machado, a little bit of an on different head swing there. Thought that one could have been high, but that was in the zone. Make it 1-1. Machado more than 25 home runs in each of his last full 9 seasons. 86. Taken the other way, Robles will survey and he'll fight it and get it. But Fernando Tatis Jr., 3-run tank, gives the Padres the lead. Let's go bottom 3. It's 3-2. Appreciate you guys joining in on the Twitter X Space and the YouTube site at John Reyna under that same tag. If you want to follow along.
Get up. With DraftKings, you custom get $5 to $250 instantly bonus bets and a month of NFL plus premium. Crown is yours.
Just getting a couple notes in for the story, and then we'll transition over. Take a look at the fourth. I'll give you some scoring updates across the league.
Game-changing formulas that promote mental sharpness and help extend lives. See what nutrition can do. Purina Profar, always advancing.
It's something new era chicken. Slow roasted era. A quesadilla shake era. A cheesy, saucy, era. The Cantina Chicken Quesadilla, only at Taco Bell.
So due up in the bottom third, the Mariners will go through the first part of the order for a second time. Robles, Rodriguez, and Raleigh will be due up in this bottom third as now the M's find themselves down a run after taking a 2-0 lead. Oakland and Houston, pertinent AL West score, that's still tied 2-2. It is Houston at the bat rack with a runner at second and 1 out.
Mariners 2025 season ticket membership starts there right now, folks. Jump in, choose a flex or reserve plan, and either way, join access to exclusive pre-sale, no ticket fees, year-round discounts, and so much more. So check it out. The benefits of becoming a member at mariners.com/25.
So Darvish now takes the bottom third with the lead as he leaves it up to Victor Robles. Good snap on that curve on the inside black right on the hands. It'll be Rojas and then Robles over. So even that got a little bit ahead of the ESPN box. 9-1-2. Rojas, Robles, and Julio Rodriguez at least. This one is right through third. Machado had his glove down, and he never moved. He just kind of thought that was going to go right there. It did not. So Josh Rojas, bottom of the order, able to find a way to get something through. Let's see what he got a hand on there. It was a knuckle curve. That was low and for a strike right through the gap toward the third base side. Looked like the infield was playing in a little bit. Machado had his glove down, had no chance to get over. He didn't even move. And now Victor Robles has ducks on the pond at first, and Rojas as we'll turn the lineup over for the first time officially. This time, I swear. 3-2 lead for the Pods. Robles shows bunt. He gets it down. It's a good one. And this is safe. Victor Robles, bunt base hit. And now Victor Robles might have something cooking here as he gets Rojas to second. And now Julio have an opportunity with runners at first and second and no outs. So Victor Robles plays for the bunt base hit. This one is bunted down right in front of the plate. The last 10 games, Robles, he's been on fire. 424, 14 of 33, and 8 RBI. Couple bunt attempts for a single. It didn't happen for Raleigh. He did end up hitting the home run and Luke Raley. And then now Robles attempts for a bunt base hit. So 2 times he attempted the bunt. One was a home run and one was a bunt base hit. Way out front. And I'm spinning like a top was Julio Rodriguez trying to find that curveball. Longest hit streaks, 11 gamer right now between August 28th and September 8th. He's got runners at first and second with no outs. Seattle could be right back in business with a big hit. Another big cut. It was grandiose there. That caught a lot of the plate on a changeup, but Julio swung and missed. He has been known for that a little more this year than as expected. 134 strikeouts for the 23-year-old. Keep forgetting he's only 23. I always like to call the guy a superstar. His numbers might be a little bit down from what they are, but he is indeed the real deal, but you'd like to see those strikeout numbers get a little bit less going into 2025. As Julio gets serenaded with the chance at 0-2, Darvish got runners at first and second and no outs. That is a gorgeous pitch on a fastball. Caught the outside black, and Julio has got to go grab his pine. Cal Raleigh will be up next. He's already got a solo shot in this game. He's affectionately, we said the nickname and all that, but he's the run producer right now for the M's this year. 91 RBI and 30 home runs on the season. Still got runners at first and second. It's important that the Mariners get at least one to tie it up. Raleigh will pull, change up fouled on the first base line, make it 0-1. Any sort of double play would really kill, considering, because you had the first two reach. So Rodriguez can't advance anyone. He'll strike out looking. And now Cal Raleigh 0-1. 215, 30 tanks, 91 RBI. Cal, big swing at 94, a little bit late. Most home runs by season. He had 30 last year. He's already got 30 now. You have at least like 18, 19 more games to go, so you can add on that 27 in 2022. So the power numbers are always there for this big-time catcher. You always know what you're going to get. He calls a good game. 10 career multi-home run games, last on August 11th. Raleigh pops it up. Not going to be deep enough. Profar several steps in, and he'll make the catch. Randy Arozarena will now be the last hope. This will change quickly because you had the first two reach in the bottom three, and Seattle might get turned away with nothing, depending on what Arozarena does. So Darvish's pitch count's in great shape. Through 2 2/3 innings right now, trying to get through this bottom three with the lead. He's just surrendered 2 solo shots from Cal Raleigh and Luke Raley in the first and second innings. Arozarena 0-for-1 with a ground out in this game. He's waiting on the 0 pitch. 220, 19 home runs and 52 RBI for Arozarena, but again, he's normally like a 290 hitter, so maybe about 65, 70 points off of his average normally. Hit safely in 11 of the last 14 games, though. So that tells you what his average was at before this. 189 with runners in scoring position. Big cut and a miss on the pitch. Knuckle curve way outside the zone. Make it 0-2, outside and low. It's got those rainbow tethered gloves with the side of the orange bat tape. See if he can come through. He is Mr. Opportunity in the postseason. He turns into a completely different player. Right now, they need some of that shine late in the regular season if the M's want to make a run at this. Darvish ahead 0-2. He'll get the sign from Higashioka. Step back on the rubber here. He's got the count leverage. Does Darvish. 95. Close enough. He's been close enough all day. Got the same thing on Julio Rodriguez. Now punches out Arozarena. And Darvish gives up 2 singles. It's 2 strikeouts and a flyout. It's a 3-2 lead for the Padres as we end the third inning.
That's a huge relief for me and my dad. Oh, yes, that is your name. If you saw his piglet head, you would say the same. Dude.
Once in a while, we find ourselves at the right people, in the right place, at the right time. And then, just like that, those are moments that turn into our greatest memories. For us, time together.
Introducing SUV. Engineered. It's not only to help you do, to help you feel along the way. The all-new Mazda CX-70. Every curve, every stitch, every detail, designed around you.
With jackpots on DraftKings Casino, you could turn 10 cents into tens of thousands on all the games you know and love. The next could hit any second. So get the DraftKings Casino app to enjoy this great offer. The crown is yours.
Hey, I'll give you $574 if you switch.
Okay.
So what about $574 for switching your home insurance to Allstate?
That's way too much of a hassle.
Allstate can handle the switching for you. Just call them.
Check Allstate first and you can save plans. Unlock AI. Unlock the potential to do more. Solve more. Discover more. Welcome to the new world of NVIDIA AI computing by HPE. It's time to unlock AI.
Let's take a look at the Verizon player profile and how about what's coming up. We got Kamar Rocker making his big league debut, drafted by the Rangers in 2022. He's been drafted by the Mets. Look at what he did at Vanderbilt up and win a national championship. He went up like crazy numbers. Look at this. $196 of 180 and 55 strikeouts. Big kid growth out there. That guy was coming off the Tommy John a few years ago.
Yeah, you see, I remember when you came in with TJ and stuff like we're gonna have to wait to see this kid. Sure enough, he's that thanks a lot.
And then we get DeGrom and Scherzer.
So let's go to the fourth. It's Cronenworth set to lead this off here in the top of the fourth inning. The Padres got a 3-2 lead courtesy of Fernando Tatis, 3-run home run, 3-2 couple of solo shots for Seattle. All the runs have been courtesy of the long ball today so far, as George Kirby trying to get back into his day and right the ship. You don't want to have any problems here as far as location. He's been challenging with the fastball. When it's been up, it's been good, but that one was middle against Tatis, and that's what all the damage has been done so far for the Pods. So Cronenworth got a 2-1 count. Xander Bogaerts and Jackson Merrill will be due up in this inning as well. 2-2, 96. Again, a little bit late there was Cronenworth. Velocity has been a little bit of a problem so far in this game for the Padres there for Kirby. That 96 to 98 almost exploded right out of the hands. Seen a lot of late swings. 2-2 pitch. 96 goes toward the hands. We fall back down the third base line, and we'll do it again.
I love his fire, too. Yeah. He wants to win every pitch.
So George take a little bit extra to get back in the box. This one way high on a fastball, going to a full count. Xander Bogaerts is waiting at the bat rack right now. His 96 game, 266, 9 bombs, 36 RBI, 46 runs, 25 walks, 67 strikeouts, 10 steals for the former Red Sox. Cronenworth waiting on a 3-2. That is middle fastball. And that one's fallen back late. So that's just the thing for me with Kirby here. Again, when we saw him about 3.5 weeks ago, it was ERA that was almost under 3. Now it's about 3.65. If you're going to update all this stuff in real time, just mistakes and fastballs right down the middle. I kind of said the same thing with Casey Mize last week. Fastball high. Cronenworth takes the walk. So Xander Bogaerts, he will be set up next year. It's the first really walk of the ball game across the board. Again, 3 home runs, the total of 5 scored between both teams. Xander Bogaerts is pretty good at getting the bat on ball. Maybe the home run power, as we said, isn't what they would expect. But again, he is 31. When you play shortstop, second base every day, it does wear on you a little bit. But Xander Bogaerts professional at bat. And certainly at least he can get this runner over unless he hits into a double play. Walk rate this season for Kirby is about 4% for lefties, 2% for righties. So he normally throws in that strike zone. 0-2, fastball on the inside black. That a 96 right toward the hands. And Xander Bogaerts is up against it right now. Kirby's got a lot of pitches to play with here, and Bogaerts a professional hitter. Probably think this one might be an obligatory take, but we'll see, unless he wants to go ahead and just challenge that strike zone. It's the call from Raleigh. This one right back to Kirby. Soft toss over, and that's a double play. That went right back to George, and they threw that over. Good mix in there between JP and Jorge Polanco. Right to Raleigh, and that one works out as a double play. And the Mariners will empty those base paths for Jackson Merrill. And that is exactly what you talked about there. If you're a Seattle fan, you want to make sure every time Jackson Merrill steps up to the plate, he's got nobody out there to rage with him, because this kid could absolutely detonate at any time. 17-5 in series openers this year at T-Mobile Park. So that tells you in the first game, Seattle normally kind of sets the tone, but that doesn't mean going forward in the series that they do very well. They just like to win openers. But you want to get to a good start, but the main thing is keeping that leverage and maintaining it. That knuckle curve is spiked in the dirt, but since nobody's on base, no worries. AA Texas League Player of the Week is Jared Oliva, 600 for the Arkansas Travelers, a double, 9 RBI, 4 runs, and 3 stolen bases. If that is a Seattle Mariners prospect, they're going to definitely take that one. This again, a little bit low at 2-1. 87 miles an hour there on that curve. For Kirby, as we talk about, his pitch mix is pretty good. 4-seam sinker split, slide, and knuckle curve. This one at 86, no problem. Rayleigh will make the stab. He'll step on the bag himself. Double play, takes away everything else, and then a ground out for Jackson Merrill. Still 3-2 Padres, go bottom 4.
Almost 5 years ago that the hormones played a big part of our appetite. That was a big game changer for me. It's a disease.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, you need to check the weather first before saving.
I'll go tell the Coast Guard.
So check Allstate first for a quote and save you money. It's time for a new electric. Slow works to there. I think it'll be a shaker. The cheesy, saucy, era. The Cantina chicken queso, only at Taco Bell.
Have you tried Hill's Science Diet, sensitive stomach and skin? It's gentle on dogs' tummies and helps nurture skin and coats.
Right now, get $15 back in savings on Hill's Science Diet dog and cat food.
Look at this lucky lady playing slots before she hits the air. She's not traveling to Vegas. No, she's already there.
New players will cost $7 to 77 casino site credits.
Why invest in winning over 100 games when you can get dropped in the first
The
round?
postseason is on Brian Kenny's mind, and he's always crunching the numbers.
Top wins in tournament baseball. Let's do a little digging in.
The show for the thinking fan, MLB Now, only on MLB Network. Step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet.
Take a look at the middle of the lane. Those are the two guys. That same pitch they get Julio and Randy.
Yeah, this is tough. I mean, regardless of what you're doing offensively, this is just straight black. Same pitch goes off script a little bit. We talked about the fact he doesn't go being really straight with 2 strikes, but that's the situation both guys, Randy and Julio, just get the counter. Nothing to do with that out.
Yashioka barely moved his glove.
Let's go bottom 4. Luke Rayleigh, Justin Turner, Jorge Polanco gets set to do battle here against Yu Darvish. He's through 3 innings so far. He's only given up a couple of tanks, courtesy of Cal Raleigh and Luke Rayleigh. A little bit of the mascots, your little fishmongers here for T-Mobile Park. 3.62 ERA in Seattle. That's pretty cool. Alongside, they're going to keep everybody entertained. We'll get set to dig back in now as they're back across the steps, and now we'll be ready to go. That was a good camera shot by the Root Sports Northwest crew. Big cut. That's a good breaking ball there at 0-1. Had a lot of snap to it, started on the top of the zone and just dropped right back down to the black to the belt. 241, 19 bombs, 50 RBI. Again, that is updated. This is 89. This one way low. 2 career multi-home run games. The last one at the White Sox. White Sox have had an absolutely miserable year. They've been eliminated since the last century. I hate to say it that way, but that's how it's been. Alongside the Rockies, who got obliterated by the Tigers today. They've been eliminated as well. But this will start to see a little more ease. You do want to see X's according to your team's names, not really in real life, but alongside teams if you're watching baseball. So to go ahead and say that you made the postseason. 34 of 50 have come at T-Mobile Park as far as home runs. And Rayleigh make it a 2-2 as he followed a breaking ball all the way down the third base side. So a lot of curveballs here lately from Darvish. But again, it started high in the zone and just dropped exactly what you want a 12-6 to do. 2-2. What's going to come with here from Higashioka? 94 and a fastball. See you later, because you go from 78 to 94. That differential is very hard to mess with there. And Darvish gets a punchy. So alongside of Lumen Field, you see that's where the Seattle Seahawks play, as they're getting a little bit of the camera shots there alongside in Seattle. If Cooper Hopkins was in here, maybe it will kind of show me around all that stuff to kind of tell me what to look for in these camera shots, but I'm just telling you what I know. Seahawks were able to start the season with the victory against the rookie Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos. Donovan Solano will go make the catch, and Turner's turned away on one pitch. Jorge Polanco is going to be the last hope in the fourth.
Two-thirds of last time out, got a ton of time off. This is where you start getting that rhythm, you get to that 40 pitch mark, and you start to feel it, what's working, what's not. We talked about that bullpen earlier, all of a sudden you get to that 6-7 inning, man.
So just 43 pitches into his day, Padres ERA ranks is 15th overall, 17th for starter, and 12th for bullpen. So pretty standard across the board there. It's their offense that carries everything, and then if you get in the back end alongside Tanner Scott and Robert Suarez, it makes things very difficult for anyone to try to score in the back end of their bullpens, unless you're Parker Meadows. I have to throw that in. 0-1. This one outside on a slider. Make it 1-1. Polanco hitting just 204, but again, as I mentioned in his Twins days, normally around 265. A lot more power than the 14 home runs. Polanco could kind of get you between 25 and 30 if he's right. Lollipop there on an off-speed pitch. That was a cutter that went high. It almost looked like an ephus in the sense of it, but had Polanco way out in front, make it 1-2. Darvish looks like he's in his bag right now from what you normally would have seen with the Texas Rangers. And that's a scary commodity, but very good for the Padres going forward. Scary for everybody else, though, because I do think this Padres team is going to make the playoffs and do some damage. That's a good breaking ball again at 82, way below the belt. Just to kind of mess with the mind for Polanco, you see some off-speed high, you see it low, pounding with the fastballs inside, up. Not everything has stayed straight. Everything has moved. Everything has looked different. 2-2. Just outside there on a slider. Make it a full count. Polanco trying to extend this inning here for J.P. Crawford. J.P. Crawford's got a decent hitting streak going on. He's just 198 on the regular season, though. Full count pitch. Pitch clock down to 2. This was a breaking ball. Polanco, he's going to split the gap here. Tatis has a great arm, and he is out. I would have guessed there for Polanco not to go, because Tatis, he's got that 95 out of 99 speed. He kind of soft tossed that thing one-handed in from right field, and Xander Bogaerts, he got the tag. Looks like he did. Polanco got a little greedy. We're going to end the fourth. It's still 3-2.
Not today. Not today. Speaking of which, I was looking at the contract. That's it. Not today.
In America, every day can be an adventure. That's why we created the Ford Explorer, an SUV for adventures big and small. It's designed to show you what you can't see with an available 360-degree camera and voice-activated Safe3 technology to help you stay connected. Plus, it's the all-time best-selling SUV in America. Be adventure-ready with Ford Explorer.
Easy Plan trade-in customers can lease a 2024 Explorer for $369 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
Toyota has 17 hybrids, more than anyone else, including the best-selling Camry, best-selling RAV4, and best-selling Tacoma. Toyota is electrified, diversified, and the choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
Let me guess. You're one of those underdog guys. Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking it straight up on ESPN Bet tonight. How you gonna get the superstar quarterback? Superstar. Always with the superstar.
I gotta find me a new belly.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, not only did Fernando Tatis do some damage offensively as we check out the T-Mobile coverage cam, watch this play the right fielder makes as Polanco was hustling and trying to turn a single into an epileptic throw.
Yeah, that just quick with leg strength and pump strength off the ball. You see Polanco really looking, plants in a right field, so going to his right thing, he's going to have to turn around, set his feet, crawl up, for you more time. But man, Tatis.
It was a shortstop and a real good out. Fantastic athletic play. That throw from that angle had something on it. Solano leads off.
Let's go top five. 8-9-1 due up here for the Padres. Donovan Solano. It's set to lead this off. George Kirby's still out there. So 3-2 deficit. He's trying to keep it right where it is right now. Just a couple of solo shots for Seattle and then a 3-run tank for Tatis. Tatis been the MVP so far in this game because he got the 3-run go-ahead shot. And he just tossed out Polanco, who tried to hustle a single into a double. That was a bad mistake there because you know he's got a lot of speed and a good arm. He hopped that thing, kind of just underhand tossed it, hopped it to Bogaerts, who got the tag before Polanco could slide into second base. 1-2 count against Donovan Solano. Kirby be 68 pitches into his day, right at his jersey number. This is 96. Let's be way outside. Again, rally out of the crouch, make it 2-2. So Donovan Solano pretty good on both sides of the plate. Not going to hit for a lot of power, but he will hit for average. And he will put the bat on the ball. Pitch clock down to 1. Fastball way high. Solano now works his count leverage again. He did the same thing before, worked to a full count in his last at bat before he got a single. Now trying to do the same thing against Kirby in pitch number 70. Don't really want to turn this lineup over again because that was the damage that was done the first time. 95 toward the left side of the box and on the first base line. So again, when Kirby does need a strike, you do see him go to the fastball in the predictable spots of the top right or top left side of the box for a fastball. I think these big league hitters can pay on that if you get the bat head to it. And this time 97 in that same exact spot. You don't want to get too predictable, but especially against the guys like Profar, Machado, and Tatis, because they'll certainly take you deep. Solano probably cued to right or left field, but everybody else might take it out of the ballpark. Full count again. This is hit the other way. It's past the dive and Luke Raley, and Solano's on again. This is the second time he worked his way to a full count. That one was an 8-pitch battle, and he got a single there. So good work for Donovan. And we'll leave it up to Kawagashioka before we go up to this lineup and switch over a second time. Very good bat there. That was just late off the bat head, but he's able to shoot that thing down the right field line where Robles will have to put a stop to it. So Kawagashioka, 230 average, but he does have 16 tanks. Shows bunt there. That was a very poor looking bunt. Wasn't sure if he even thought that was going to be a strike. Kind of looked like he pulled it back. It was a half-hearted attempt at best. Because it's a 3-2 scoreline still for the Padres. They do have the lead, courtesy of a few innings ago from Tatis. Kawagashioka will spit on a curveball, make it 1-1. That one dropped all the way down. Career highs in home runs and RBI for the former New York Yankees catcher. 230 average, 16 bombs, 43 RBI, 27 runs scored, 13 walks, 63 strikeouts for the 34-year-old. Good off-speed pitch there on a slider. That one just in on the outside black. Kawagashioka could do nothing with it. 71 games played this season as he split some time. Again, you got Elias Diaz and Luis Campusano on the catching side, so there's a lot of depth there. This in toward the hands. Kawagashioka got to it, but he hit that one foul. That one went out of home run distance. and we get the bat head to it, have good speed there. Strikeout rate, 28%. MLB average about 25. Walk rate about 6%. MLB average about 8%. Just a little bit below those splits, right where his numbers kind of need to be. 86 at 2-2. Higashioka able to keep the bat back. Let's go to the 10th. In between the Athletics and the Astros, Jacob Wilson first one up on bat for the A's. We'll keep an eye on that as long as we can in the AL West. Half swing. And Higashioka didn't commit all the way. The result was a strikeout. So Solano still tethered at first. And we'll bring up Luis Arraez, who's the DH. Most commonly, he will be the DH. But you can move him between first, second, third, short if you want to. Most of the time, if you can be, he will be the DH because his bat is too valuable to take out of the lineup. You want him in there every day. 86 on a cutter. That will be 1-0. Again, I noticed for the Root Sports side, I wish they would talk about the pitchers or at least say what they are. But they don't on this side, so here's my best estimation on some of these. 1-0 pitchers. Kirby's 80 pitches into his day. Good snap on that curveball. Caught Luis Arraez off guard, but I shouldn't say that. He's kind of very selective in the sense of what he wants to do. But that one did get close to split in the middle of the plate. Single and third with a run scored. 1 for 2 today. 316 average. In toward the hands, spin him back around. Make it 2-1. Fernando Tatis. Should Arraez reach, will be next. That fastball spun him right out of the way. Up and in on Arraez was the last pitch there. Make it 2-1 now. Kirby trying to get the sign from Raleigh. This in toward the hands. Pops it up. Arraez not happy with himself, but Rojas camps underneath it just over foul territory. Makes the catch. And Tatis now will be the last in order. That's what the M's hope. Top 5. The last time he was up with runners on base, he went yard. This time it would be a 2-run shot. But Tatis crushed it. 107-mile-an-hour exit velocity. Hit that one about 400 feet toward right center. So he's got Donovan Solano still been stuck at first. Off the walk. Or hit, I should say, from Raleigh. He's got a couple hits so far in this game. He's reached twice. He's had the full count twice. Really good day for Solano off a couple singles. Tatis trying to pay him off, making a 5-2 game. Tatis up high, but he holds the bat back. 2-0. Don't have to give in here, but Jurickson Profar would be next if Kirby can't figure this one out with 2 outs. M's down 3-2. Courtesy of Tatis with a 3-run tank in the third. Half cut. And they're going to say he went far enough to offer there, make it 2-1. Cal Raleigh and Luke Raley had solo shots for Seattle, but Tatis with a 3-run tank is the biggest damage so far in this game. That's where they got the lead. So good leverage at bat early here for Kirby. What's he going to do in pitch number 86 on a 2-1 count? Followed straight back. That 197 right on the block. Perfect location. Would have been a strike anyway. So good crowd on hand at T-Mobile Park in Seattle. Washington, John, there with you on the Root Sports feed. It's an AL wildcard watch. 2-2 count. This one will be a knuckle curve outside the zone. Now with 2 outs, runner will be off at the pitch and Donovan Solano. And you can certainly gap one here. I don't know if Solano's going to score from first, depending on where Tatis hits it, but he can certainly get to third. Don't have to give in here. Full count pitch. What's he going to do? Big cut for Tatis. He wanted the breaking ball. He couldn't find it. Kirby gets the punch out on the knuckle curve, and the Mariners go to the bat rack. No damage done despite a single. 3-2. Padres still out in front.
The new Hyundai Elantra with America's
America's best warranty. There's joy in every journey. Get 1.99% APR for 60 months, plus 500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Elantra. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today. Let me guess, you're one of those underdog guys. Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking it straight up on ESPN Bet tonight. How you gonna get the superstar quarterback? Superstar? Always with the superstar. I gotta find me a new day. We'll see you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please.
I just wanted to remind you that Breakout makes it easy to fund your home and coach. In fact, it's Savant. It reminds me of a joke my mate told me. And I'm going to catch her walking through a pool. Get it? Wow, I really like that one.
It's easy to Geico, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Here we go. Let's see this workout in. Not today.
Not today.
Not today.
Not today. Speaking of which, I was looking at the contract. Hey, not today.
Enjoy the Mariners on September 19th. It's Frazier Day, presented by Paramount Plus. With this offer, score a limited edition tee and enjoy Frazier-themed fun, including giveaways, games, and a first pitch from Perry Kelvin, the actress behind Roz Doyle. Tickets are available only at mariners.com/Frazier. Perry Kelvin's dad, Jim O'Brien, was a
Gets set for the bottom of the fifth. J.P. Crawford will lead off. Mariners need runs. They're down 3-2. Darver's still out there looking for his fifth inning of work. Giant cut for Crawford. Does not find the changeup. They get 0-1. He's 89-1 in the order here for Dan Wilson's squad. It'll be Crawford, Rojas, and Victor Robles. Rojas and Robles have been pretty good so far in this game. Crawford will take a fastball, put it straight back, but just at 198 in the regular season for JP. Again, this is 87 games played for him. And last year, I can't help but think his numbers were way better as they were. You can go anywhere 1 through 9 for Scott Service, who used to be the manager, but they need JP Crawford to step up a little bit. Everybody's been down in the batting average. How down has it been? Let's get into some of those numbers as well. So the AL West is wide open, and we'll still see. We'll give you the scoring update shortly here, getting into the sixth. But 30th out of 30 in batting averages, Crawford will punch out. But 30th out of 30 in batting average, 219, and 1,461 strikeouts is a league worst. So the worst batting. But Seattle leads ERA at 351 and earned runs at 495. That's going in. It's at 498 right now. And first in hits allowed at 1,047. So the best pitching, bullpen kind of suspect, but the bats are 30th out of 30th. That has got to be so frustrating for a team that is just 3 games out of the wild card. Because if it was any sort of average, this would not be a situation where the Mariners would be in a hunt. They'd probably be comfortable considering the way the AL West had started this year, but that's not the case. Got to be able to score some runs with some consistency, and there just hasn't been that for the M's this season. 0-1 against Rojas before the lineup turns over for the third time. Good pitch on the inside. Black does not get the call on a fastball at 94. 25-19 record against the National League this season for the M's. Trying to raise the Tridents up a couple more times. And we'll see as we go along, especially when you get to Tanner Scott and Robert Suarez. It's going to get difficult. So if you're going to score on the Padres 6 and 7, that's the bottom 5 now, but 6 and 7, they're going to be pretty particular because 8 and 9 is probably going to be lock and key considering the way that this game goes. Now, anything could happen, but it's not as likely as it would be in the little middle to late innings. 1 and 2. Good snap there on a curve. And Rojas stays in front of it. He's on ahead, but it's still 1 and 2 the count. Darvish's pitch count is excellent shape right now. 57 pitches through 4 1/3 innings. He's only given up 2 shots for Cal Raleigh and Luke Raley. Fernando Tatis for the 3-run go-ahead shot in the third. That's still where we are. And Rojas, see you later. He's late on a fastball at 94. And again, 94 doesn't seem all that much, but when you mix in between that 78, you have about 7 other pitchers you can throw. That makes Darvish very difficult to bunch up hits again or even do damage against. Victor Robles, the last time he was up, he bunted for a base hit. Don't know if he would do that with nobody on base right now. Might be free swinging, but he's 1 for 2 with a single in this game so far. Pitch number 59. Victor Robles. Going to put Jackson Merrill back toward the track. He's going to have to play off the wall. Victor Robles. Couple hits. Single and a double. First one was a bunt base hit. That one was 401 right off the wall. As he slapped it right off the wall, Merrill did all he could. He knew he couldn't go ahead and make the catch. He just had to play right off the wall, but it was a fastball that split the middle. And that was at almost 105 miles an hour. Pretty fortunate that it didn't leave, in all honesty, for his 14th double of the year. So Victor Robles, and a very good pickup here for the M's since coming over from the trade deadline. He's been on fire of late. So Julio Rodriguez, runner at second with 2 outs. Do they want to even mess with him? Honestly, if I'm just going to throw this out there completely, I'd rather face Julio Rodriguez than Cal Raleigh for the threat of the home run. That's just me. I know that sounds crazy to say, but considering where we are right now in the season, if Cooper Hopkins was in here, I'd love to get his thoughts, because you might think I'm absolutely taking crazy pills on that side of it, but that's where I am. I still think it's a good meeting of the mound. I'm trying to figure out everything for Darvish. Again, this is just his 3rd start since coming back from injury, but his pitch count's in phenomenal shape. He just went to throw his 60th in the bottom of the 5th with 2 outs. So Julio Rodriguez swung through a fastball a couple times and punched out. Last time up, ground out, strikeout. You get those again, you can't miss it. I mean, you shouldn't be late on a 93-94. Again, it's from the multitude of pitches that Darvish can throw, but you got to be able to counter something when you get a good pitch to hit, especially against a pitcher like Darvish. So Robles takes a couple steps. Shot that's keyed foul there for Rodriguez, way out in front of it. On the third base side, and we'll do it again. A lot of silver chains there for Julio. He's trying to dig in. Again, there was that stretch last year on the August side when he was hotter than a pitching machine as far as getting hits. He was just lacing it everywhere across, and they really need something right now. Robles broke for third, and nobody wanted to throw over. So Victor Robles' 21st stolen bag of the year. He gets a double and steals third, and nobody had any sort of thought to go ahead and take it from him. Nobody's even over there. I almost want to say defensive indifference. So a runner in third with 2 outs. Single scores Robles. Giant cut for Rodriguez. It looks like he's swinging for the downs when all he really needs to is get a soft serve somewhere. That's what happened to him in the last at-bat. And then he was swung late on a fastball. He got the curveball and spun late on top, and then swung late on a fastball. Looks like this could be the same setup at 1 and 2. Darvish going to step off. 9 RBI, last 11 games for Julio. He's got to come through here. Runner at third with 2 outs in a 3-2 game. Mariners trying to tie it. Pitch clock down to 5. Darvish delivers. Julio toward Machado. He had to bounce that one to Solano. That was a very low throw for Machado, but Darvish doesn't give up any damage despite a Robles double. And 5. Padres still up 3-2.
Every curve, every stitch, every detail, designed around you.
Hey, what's up, amigo? Dad, feel free, but I kind of messed up. My only measure of progress. Just throw it in the wash. It's wise as any creature. That's your problem. That stuff has way more water. Tide, even better. Okay, so I don't need the full cap for large loads? Oh, a little bit of time goes a long way. And save money too.
It's more money for nights at the library.
So we'll be going to the sixth inning. Padres still up 3-2. They'll be due up at the bat rack here at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. John and I are with you on the solo call. We appreciate it. A lot of you guys have been jumping in and out in between the Twitter space and the YouTube side. I humbly appreciate it there.
Go back and forth from the spicy fillet to the original fillet. Personally, I get into the sweetness of the honey. That's what hits first. Then you have the extra kick from the spicy fillet. And then you also have the spice of the jalapeno peppers. The combination alone takes it over the top. It's award-winning in my mind.
Real customer paid for their testimonial. Hey guys, ESPN Bet is here. Finally, a sports book from your favorite sport.
Always like watching George Kirby go to work. Yeah, it's been a little shaky command-wise. You can see some of the frustration come out of him, but again, only two strike hits on two-strike attacking against George Kirby, but really the one big mistake was for him that Tatis hit that ball in the right center field.
So I'm going to give the play-by-play in 6, but let's just do this live scoreboard across. So here is what you have to know. For the teams of Seattle, Boston, and Detroit that came in today 3 games back, they have to win to stay 3 games back because the Twins took a big 10-5 win over the Angels. That's the team that's in the other last part of the wild card. That's the team that the other 3 are chasing. So Twins win 10-5. Detroit stays 3 games back because they got a monster 11-0 win over the Rockies. They're probably expected to at least take 2 out of 3, if not sweep the Rockies, who fall to 54-91. Tigers improved to 74-71. The other pertinent score is that the Red Sox fall 3.5 back because it's 5-3. This one, fair ball off the wall, and Robles will say it's a ground rule double. So this will be off for Profar. Robles couldn't play in a ground rule double there for Jurickson. So Red Sox fall to 3.5 back. Orioles win 5-3. And if the Mariners don't take this one today, they'll fall 3.5 back. They might stay where they are in the division. It is bottom 11th. The Astros and Athletics tied at 2. If the Astros win, they could gain a game, depending on what happens with the M's today. So Kirby's got some work to do. It's Jurickson, Profar, lead off the 6th, Machado. Strikeout lineup. Diamondbacks currently up 4-0 on the Rangers. Top 7, it's Brewers, Giants. Brewers up 3-2. Dodgers up 2-1. Kirby getting the sign from Raleigh on a 1-0. Big cut from Machado. Couldn't find it. 274 average rim, 25 bombs, 90 RBI. Everything else gone final today. Pirates win 6-4. Phillies win 9-4 over the Rays. Braves all over the Nationals 12-zip. Royals beat the Yankees 5-0. The Mets drop a critical one in the NL wildcard. That does help the Diamondbacks and the Padres. They lose 6-2 to the Jays, who are just 69-77. Mets are 79-66. Almost reversed that side of it. Guardians win 5-0 against the White Sox. White Sox are 33-113. Boy, oh boy. This is Surf Foul. Make it 2-2. And just one more for you here. The Reds win 3-0 as they shut out the Cardinals. They improved to 71-75. Cardinals fall to 500 at 72-72. No runs on 8 hits. So that's your scoreboard and standing reset as we're waiting on the 1-2 from Kirby against Machado. And again, that one away. And Machado will just get his hands on it. Profar was off with the pitch. So Mike Shildt not afraid to get a little bit busy here with the runner on the base paths. Opening the 6th with a ground rule double was Jurickson Profar, but Kirby's got to keep it right where it is because we talk about that bullpen there for Seattle. They've had some rough numbers put up against them. It's the starters that have carried the weight. 1-2. Kirby taking his sweet time. Fastball. That's absolutely tattooed. Courtesy look, but that's all it's going to be. Manny Machado. It's Fernando Tatis Jr. 3-run tank and Manny Machado with a 2-run splash. right to center field, and he can't throw 97 right down the middle. Manny being Manny, and again, you normally think about Manny Ramirez, but you can say about Manny Machado. He's a superstar, and that's not in the making. You already know that. 5-2, Padres might have taken this one and put it out of reach, considering the amount of runs that Seattle does not score. We've talked about that a lot. This is a fastball high out over the plate. This is middle, maybe toward the left, but way too much of the plate at 97, and Manny Machado absolutely eviscerates it just over the wall. 5-2 Padres got the lead. And Tatis, he's got those eyes open. He loves it. 164 career home runs with the Padres, most in team history. Kirby's day is done. You get to call the bullpen. 5-2. San Diego now out front.
Get ready for kickoff, Michigan. Rally House has the game day gear you're looking for, including Ryan's sideline gear and the latest public size. Ryan's Tigers, Redwoods, Pistons, Spartans, Chippewas, everything Michigan. View up in store and online at rallyhouse.com.
The right way. How do you define doing it the right way? Well, we say you can feel it in your gut. We've lived by that feeling for over 80 years. It's why we hand mix our own spices, deep marinate our meats, and cook in the delicious flavors. And it's why we're transparent about what goes into our food and what doesn't. And we know if it's not right for us, it's not right for you. Doing it the right way, even if it's hard. Pizza and Watson, it's a family thing since 1939.
Feel like you're going nowhere? Unable to move forwards in life? Or in love? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted psychics can give you the guidance you need to see things clearly. Our guarantee, if it's not life-changing, it's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Well, George Kirby gets chased here in the 6th inning. Here are his numbers, right? Yeah. I mean, it was a battle for him all night long. He felt like he was sort of halt and serve there up near the 6th inning, but it just caught up to him. That fastball command, we talked about that before the game. That was a big struggle for him in the month of August. So a little bit of that, some of that frustration seeping as well. Everything leaking out over the plate.
So I'm glad on the Root Sports side of the feed that they're kind of agreeing with me, because I don't want to try to talk too much one way or the other. But the way that you see it in terms of the game is the fastball command, and you have the situation between Tatis and Machado when it's middle in, maybe just a little bit middle out on a 96 to 97. These guys can hit the heat, especially for Tatis and Machado. He can't make those pitches that way. And he gets chased through a complete 5. So he lasts 5, gives up 5, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And now JT Chargois going to try to get this one done here in the 6th with no outs. So clean slate for JT, but now it's going to be essentially that side of the order starting over again. Let's pull back up to it. 5, 6, and 7. Cronenworth, Bogaerts, and Merrill. After Jurickson Profar ground roll double on a Manny Machado 2-run tank, it's 5-2 San Diego, who's trying to keep pace with everything else in their National League wildcard side of it. They're a game and a half up. Depending on what happens with the Diamondbacks, we already know the Mets lost, so they lost a full game, depending on whether or not the Padres hold on to this 5-2 lead. But the way that it's been for Seattle this year, it's probably likely. So that's why you knew you couldn't make mistakes in this Padres team that leads in batting average, pretty damn close in home runs, RBI, and all of that. They do a lot of damage. They got some superstar hitters. Really, the only guy that's out of their lineup is Ha-Seong Kim. And Chargois. Not what you want in relief. His first batter throws a walk to Cronenworth. And now it's going to be Xander Bogaerts. And they're just talking about the Detroit Tigers right now. That makes me happy here locally in the sense that they've been getting hot and playing well. I know you can only play the teams that are on your schedule, but you got 2 more for Detroit against Colorado. You should think they get at least 1 more of those wins. But the next 9 games, as this is Rojas. Toss over, Polanco gets the toss over. Bogaerts hits into another double play. Seattle needed that badly. Still 5-2 with 2 outs in the 6th. But the Tigers, they win today. They stay 3 back because the Twins won. Mariners could lose a half a game or a full game, depending on what happens. If they lose this one, they'll be 4 back. But for the Tigers, you got 2 more against Colorado. But the next 9, you got 3 against Baltimore, 3 against Kansas City, and 3 against Baltimore. So I'll be covering the hometown team on Saturday. This one in on Merrill from Chicago. I'll make it 1-0. But all you can do is continue to win. Twins have come into this losing 16 of 21. They really needed to win today. They got one definitively 10-5 against the Angels. If they hold serve, they're going to be the last one in anyway. It won't matter for everyone else who's chasing. Everyone else who's chasing has to win, and they also need help. That's not where you want to be with about 18 games left in the year. Jackson Merrill straight away center. This is sky high. Victor Robles. Julio Rodriguez make the catch. And it is 5-2. Manny Machado with the latest difference maker as the Padres are out by 3. Let's go bottom 6. And these M's need runs.
It's a sense of comfort, support, and just being you. It's a warm hug, a big hug, and a smile that greets you. So make yourself at home decorations and the special way Michiganders treat guests.
Let's give you the latest update on the notes side before the M's get back to the bat rack in the bottom 6.
No matter what your hug time is, Pat is your reassuring guide that knows where you're coming from.
For those that are just joining in on the YouTube side, Twitter Space X, I thank you for that. I just give you those updates in the comment box so you can follow along. Again, you don't have to listen to me. There's plenty of stuff on MLB Network if you want to follow along on those feeds, but more than happy to talk to you, leave comments, anything across the board.
With available driver assist technologies like pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, and Blitz, the blind spot information system with cross-traffic alert to help get away from it all. You got this with Ford Escape.
Easy Plan trade-in customers can lease a 2024 Escape for $279 a month for 24 months at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
Let me guess. You're one of those underdog guys. Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking him straight up on ESPN Bet tonight. How you never gonna get the superstar quarterback? Superstar. Always with the superstar. I gotta find me a new guy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Two lead for the San Diego Padres. Game 1 of the 2-game set here. The Mariners open up a very important homestand with Texas coming in for 4, then the Yankees for 3 next week. New Dodgers since days over to lose with the lead.
Yeah, you got 63 pitches, starting into a little bit of a groove. For the Mariners, they started making some big pitches as this game went on. Shaking to start it off, but again, coming back to it, 2-3 last one, had this on 5 innings. It's on for the San Diego Padres, getting him back in that rotation, looking like this.
Mike Shildt was telling the 80 pitches. He was very happy with the 63 as Jeremiah Estrada takes over.
So Jeremiah Estrada is going to be the new reliever here for San Diego. So Darvish, just 3 appearances right now. This is a good shot, deep and foul. As that could have been another one for Cal Raleigh. That certainly could have scraped the top of the roof. I couldn't believe he hit that one so high. What I was going to say there for Darvish was 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, making his 3rd start since coming off the disabled list. 98, make it 0-2. Raleigh had the distance on his last hit there, but it went foul. He's trying to get his 2nd home run of the day, but he's up against it now 0-2. Mariners down 3 runs, 5-2 at home. 83 on a changeup. That one will just a little low. So Jeremiah Estrada, another one of those arms that Mike Shildt in the back end part of that bullpen can rely on. But when you get to Tanner Scott and Robert Suarez, that is good night and good luck. This is right toward Estrada. Raleigh doesn't run that well. This will be an easy toss over there from Estrada. No problem there at first. And one up, one down. So take a look at the Mariners side of the order. It'll be Randy Arozarena and Luke Raley, 4 and 5. It's going to start to get to the last amount of outs here. We're on their final 11. The way that this is going right now as we sit in the sixth. It's a quick moving game. Mariners had a good start. They led 2-0 courtesy of a couple solo tanks from Raleigh and Luke Raley. And then Fernando Tatis, 3-run shot, Manny Machado, who just got the out there off the soft toss to Solano. 2 up, 2 down here for the M's. It's been all Manny Machado and Tatis. 2-run and 3-run tank varieties, 5-2 lead. All of the runs scored by home runs today. 7 runs in totality. And that's going to leave it up to Luke Raley. Got a home run in the second inning of a solo shot. Just 5 pitches into Estrada's day. He's trying to clean up the sixth. Darvish went pretty well. He went 5. This is 3 groundouts. No problem. Toss across from Cronenworth to Solano. Mariners go very quietly in the sixth. Let's go to the seventh. It's still 5-2.
Don here pays too much for AT&T, so he's been waiting to update his equipment. There's a smarter way to say it. With Comcast Business Mobile, you can save up to 70% on your wireless bill, so you don't have to compromise. Powering smarter savings, powering possibilities.
Toyota has 17 hybrids more than anyone else, including the best-selling Camry, best-selling RAV4, and best-selling Tacoma. Toyota is...
So I know last inning I gave you the scoring updates across everything, but we did have a game in extras that was pertinent. The Athletics have taken a 4-3 lead against the Astros. They scored on the 12th. The Astros have a runner on third with 1 out. They're trying to tie this one back up. That would be the only good news that the Mariners would get if they don't win this one, is if the Athletics win to kind of keep the AL West part of the division open, because if they lose this one, they're going to drop a little bit more in the wild card side of it. But we'll give you an update on that once that gets to be called in order. So it's Hogan Harris. I almost said Hector Neris. Hogan Harris for the Athletics against Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker must have just recently come back. He's 0 for 5, King Tuck, with a strikeout.
Nothing scary about choosing your ultimate review. The #1 longest lasting AA battery.
Tomorrow I will have, I know I have some prep here for the Yankees and the Red Sox. I think I'm going to launch a video tomorrow as far as what happened on the PlayStation account. You may or may not want to miss my thoughts, but I just want to give a dose of reality there for everything else. I'll let you know what I think about the PS5 Pro announcement. I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. I think there's too much to say to not do it.
Really his first year in the big leagues where he's been in this kind of role where the close games, high leverage situations, but pitching him with a 3-run deficit. Some work he pitched a couple times in Oakland. Hasn't pitched since.
See Logan Ford, that's for sure. 7th inning, Solano, Higashioka, and Arraez coming up. Home runs. The old bugaboo for the Mariners tonight. 3-run shot Tatis in the third, 2-run blast. Manny Machado in the 6th.
Let's go 8-9-1. Top 7 here for the Padres. Donovan Solano is at a very good night. He's had full count leverage. He's worked at multiple bats and a couple of singles. He's continued to make anyone that he's faced. It was George Kirby, and now it's Austin Both. Now 1-0. Donovan Solano, a couple of singles. Able to serve the one down the second baseline, past Polanco off a jump, and then sliding Raleigh at first. Good snap there on the knuckle curve at 88, make it 1-1. Mariners need 3 runs. And to most teams, as you said going in, for anyone that's dropped in and out, it does not sound like a lot. But the way the Mariners have run this year, being 30th out of 30th in batting average, runs scored, all of that, it's a very tall task. And when you have a couple mistakes made, A couple mistakes turned into 5 runs. A 3-run home run for Tatis, a 2-run home run for Manny Machado. That's why it sits at 5-2 Padres. 89 on a changeup. Make it 3-1. And Donovan Solano is just fighting whatever he likes and taking a swing at only that. It's the third time he's gotten to a 3-ball count. He's 1 strike away from 3 full counts in a row and 3 plate appearances. And now he's in a full count again. So Donovan Solano has seen, if I get this correctly, a total of 19 pitches here, 18 or 19 pitches. This would be the 19th pitch if it still continues. Full count. Draws the walk. What a day for Donovan. And the 8th side of it, you might think he's going to earn this start tomorrow. You're not changing a damn thing if you're Mike Shildt. I wouldn't. So Kyle Higashioka set to get this one up. So the NL West, according to Root Sports, 5.5. So Padres win to try to stay 5 back. Diamondbacks be 6 back. That's only because of an extra game played. 89 on a cutter, backdoor, 0-1. Give you a scoring update if we see it go across right now. Did this go final? The Athletics beat the Astros 4-3. That is the only good news that the Mariners will get tonight if they don't pull out this victory. The A's get the win over the Astros, so that means the AL West deficit is going to stay right where it is, even if the M's lose. That could be their other pathway to get into the postseason, but you got to start getting some wins together. Higashioka with a rifle shot on an off-speed pitch, third baseline and foul. That one was tantalizingly close, but still several feet away, but that was bulleted. 0-2 before we flip back over to Luis Arraez. So Solano reaches again for the 3rd straight time, 2 singles and a walk. Higashioka, 0-2. So both can play around here if he wants to, but you want to make it a competitive pitch. That's a great block for Cal Raleigh. Getting up out of the crouch there to make sure you don't give up 60 feet. It's very important at this portion of the game. Can't afford to fall back anymore. Diamondbacks have a 4-0 lead. Padres have the lead. So if they kind of maintain their business, they'll stay 5 back of the division lead. And trying to get an update here as far as the Dodgers. That's 3-1. We got Yoshinobu and Shota Imanaga. Both were making duel today, both Japanese pitchers, both superstars, really, quite honestly, as the Dodgers up 3-1, top 6. 5-2 in our game. Padres got the lead, both on the mound. It's the 3rd reliever for the M's and a big swing and a miss. That on a 2-seamer way outside the zone. Make it 1 on and 1 out, and then I'll go back to the Luis Arraez. He's already got a base hit, so his hitting streak continues. His games without a strikeout will continue. If he doesn't strike out here, Luis Arraez just continues to amaze. He puts bat on ball. 1 for 3 with a single throw. That's a snapdragon of a curveball there. That's 75. Now 0-1. That had no velocity on it whatsoever. Solano, short, cautious lead at first. 0-1 against Arraez. This is right through the hole. That is what Arraez does. It does not matter who he goes up against right now. I love watching him at the bat rack all the time. He always looks under control. And now Fernando Tatis has runners on 1st and 2nd again. In the 3rd inning, this is where he did his most damage with a 3-run shot. So the Mariners, if they lose, they will stay 4 back because the Astros lost to the Athletics. That's in the West. They'd be 3.5 back of the wild card, 4 back of the division. So their window is probably a lot more open than everybody else, but you got to get some wins. Tatis, 94, straight back in amongst the screen in the brick pavement at T-Mobile Park. Right amongst the fans, 275, 15 bombs, 40 RBI. John Under with you on the solo call tonight at T-Mobile Arena. And T-Mobile Park, I should say. That's Vegas, T-Mobile Arena, but happy to be here with you. Big cut on a curve, and Tatis does not find it. Make it 0-2. Again, we didn't have a lot of activity, just one vote. I know this is a complicated question, but I did say this. Seattle, Detroit, and Boston are all 3 games entering tonight out of the AL wildcard. Who can catch Minnesota, if any? And somebody was a friend here. There was only one vote, and one of you say Tigers. And I humbly appreciate that. That makes me feel good. But I don't know yet. Maybe the Twins will hold their spot. Tatis, that's a miserable swing. With runners in first and second, both gets a gigantic strikeout. And we'll leave it up now to Jurickson. Profar. Knuckle curve. That maybe started as a strike, but that was never meant to be one. And that one bounced, and Tatis went golfing. So 2 on, 2 out, top 7. Padres still have runners in the pond here at first and second. They got a 5-2 lead. If they get a couple more here, I mean, it's already probably over considering the Mariners, as we mentioned, and their lack of run scoring. But if you leave some ducks in the pond here, you never know what can happen. But if you're Profar, just an extra run to get. At least get one. You think that's really all you need. Jurickson Profar 2 for 3 with a ground roll double and his last at bat, a single and a run scored here for the Padres. So we're top 7, 2 on and 2 out. San Diego holding on a 5-2 lead, courtesy of a 3-run tank and a 2-run tank from Tatis and Machado. Has a lot of break to it, a lot of bottom break on that 12-6 from both. Make it 1-0. Profar, breakout year for him. 277, 22 home runs, 82 RBI. Another one of those curveballs. No intention of threatening the strike zone. Make it 2-0. So Cal Raleigh gets set to get the signal here. Still a good crowd on hand at T-Mobile Park, although they haven't had a lot to cheer about today except for the first and second inning. Way inside, almost gets away from Raleigh, but keeps it up enough to where he doesn't advance the runners. 3-0. You don't really want to mess around here because Manny Machado could be up with the bases loaded, 2 outs. You get into a grand slam, and we know that this is over at that point. This is a big time. You're going to give him the green light? You're going to take. I'll take 93. And since Volta wasn't anywhere close to the strike zone on the first 3 pitches, he does not get the call there, and its bases loaded. It would have been a fastball right at the belt on the outside black, but I'm not going to blame the umpire there. I think that was pretty fair because he was not close in any of the other ones. I don't think pitchers that have been floundering across the strike zone should get the benefit of the call. That's just me. So Machado last time up went big fly. And now he's got a chance to back clean up with the bases loaded and 2 outs. It's exactly what you want right now in a game such as this. For the M's, this is the biggest leverage at bat of the game, possibly even having runners on base for them toward the bottom of the 9th. I don't think it gets any bigger than this right now because you have to make sure that no runs reach at all here at this point. So Wilson went out there. Everybody had a meeting there. One said Cal Raleigh, he's going to slowly walk his way back in behind the plate. Manny Machado notices that. Profar did his job and will draw the walk on a very close pitch. Bases loaded for Manny. Pitch number 22. This is shot right back up the middle. I think it went off of both. They're going to score a couple of runs here. And Manny Machado does it again. He's got 4 RBI. It's a 2-run single. And this game might be murder she wrote at this point. Little Angela Lansbury. This might be all over here as this one goes right down. I want to see if it bounces off of both. It bounced off his back of his jersey, and that might have stopped for a Polanco off the reach. To get that one, looked like he slid a little late, and it was a 2-run single nonetheless. Good piece of hitting right back up the middle for Manny Machado. That's it for both. And I don't hear boos, but we might hear crickets. It's still top 7 with 2 outs. Come right back.
Legendary capability and high-end performance. Now it's your turn to go messing with a good thing. The 2024 Tacoma. why we created the Ford Explorer, an SUV for adventures big and small. It's designed to show you what you can't see with an available 360-degree camera and voice-activated Safe 3 technology to help you stay connected. Plus, it's the all-time best-selling SUV in America. Be adventure ready with Ford Explorer.
Easy Plan trade-in customers could lease a 2024 Explorer for $369 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
Let me guess. You're one of those underdog guys. Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking him straight up on ESPN Bet tonight. How you never gonna get the superstar quarterback? Superstar. Always with the superstar.
I gotta find me a new day.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Not you again. I can't talk to a doctor about this. It's embarrassing. Doctor? You're right. I bet they deal with this all of the time. What about Thursday? Okay. Dr. Finley really puts you at ease. And she takes my insurance too. Let's do it.
You've got more options than you know. Look now.
I'm gonna miss you too.
Saturday night, The Rock beats Funko Pop at T-Mobile Park. Get your chance to score a Luis Castillo Pop collectible. Bears take on the Rangers in a divisional showdown. First 20,000 fans head home with this exclusive giveaway. Get your tickets at Vegas.com. Great to spray Gibson's straight for Luis. So he's out for 15 days. Hopefully he'll be back shortly thereafter. Now we saw Shildt takes over. Alex said had a rough stretch the month of August. The chance to pitch against the Cardinals last time out, get some confidence back, figure some things out, physically and definitely mentally. Right now, he needs some outs. Cronenworth there. First pitch strike. 25,012
Jake Cronenworth. Runners at first and third. Teller Saucedo is the new pitcher, but it's a 7-2 ball game. This is Polanco. Soft toss over to Rayleigh. Mariners get out of it, but they surrender a couple more runs, and they couldn't afford to do that. Manny Machado, 4 RBI day, 2-run home run. Now the latest 2-run single. 7-2 Padres as the Mariners down to the last 9 outs.
To show through. A gallon starts at $27.98 after rebate. Complete your staining project with Ultra Advanced Semi-Transparent Stain. It's a stain and sealant in one that can be applied to damp wood, allowing you to clean and stain your project in one day. A gallon starts at $34.48 after 11% rebate.
If you're still telling yourself you're okay with your active ankylosing spondylitis symptoms, like back pain and stiffness, just okay isn't okay. It's time to stop settling. If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different, and they help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve back pain and stiffness. It can improve functional mobility, making everyday activities easier.
So that's your latest score update as we go bottom 7. Seattle down to their last 9 outs, down 7-2. It was solo shots from Cal Raleigh and Luke Rayleigh. And then after that, Manny Machado, 4 RBI, 2-run home run, 2-run single in the bottom of the 7th. Fernando Tatis, 3-run shot in the 3rd, gave the Padres a 3-2 lead. And then Manny Machado has done the latest damage. 5-2 and then 7-2. And that is where we are right now. The only good news for Seattle today was that the Astros lost in extra innings to the Athletics. So their AL West hopes stay in the same spot around 4 games, but they'll fall essentially 4 games back on the side for the wild card. For the Tigers, they don't gain any spot because the Twins won, but Red Sox and the Mariners lost today, so they'll pull ahead of them if this holds. Okay, so Root Sports, it's pretty cool here. I know the score isn't, and that's it for the M's fans, but they just showed a very long look at them making some nachos. Some pulled pork, some beans, a whole lot of cheese, and a whole lot of chips. Look pretty good. You need some appetizing and maybe eat away some of your woes if you're an M's fan at this point right now, unfortunately, because that's kind of the way it's been. Justin Turner now up against Tanner Scott. And you know what? This almost seems unfair for Mike Shildt, but he's not messing around. He wants to make sure he gets this win. Tanner Scott, it's been trying to score runs off a vice grip here against Tanner Scott. It's really a two-pitch pitcher, kind of like a la Mariano Rivera in the sense of it fastball cutter type of deal. But that's what he is. He's hard to hit. It's hard to bunch up anything against him. With a 7-2 lead, it's free and easy right now for Tanner Scott. There's a reason why they picked him up from the Marlins for to solidify everything around that trade deadline. It looks like the Padres will be in a good spot. Still one more game in this series tomorrow before the M's will have to play the Yankees going forward. I think they're going to play the Rangers next after this. So there'll be a lot of work to do. There'll be some tough teams to have to go up against. And they're going to have to get a win tomorrow, pretty much, after this is done. So they don't get it today. Full count against Turner and Tanner Scott. Can't give away anything right now, and the M's are in their last 9 outs down 7-2. It's got to start somewhere. It's got to start now. Pitch clock down to 1. Turner draws the walk. That one was thrown to the back end of the foot with a fastball. That's what the M's need right now, but they're going to need a lot more of that if they want to get back into this game. Bottom 7. Turner draws the walk, but they're down 7-2 to the Padres. About 23,000, I think, was the crowd on hand at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. John, I'm with you on the solo call. I know I always talk about Cooper Hopkins, my broadcast partner here, but the M's are very near and dear to his heart. And this is one of those teams, unless they're way out in front, I wouldn't expect them to jump in on it because they know it hurts his heart too much. I know the feeling with some of the things I mentioned before, but I'm in a different landscape now with the Tigers, even though the record's pretty close. I'm just happy they're competitive. It's much different for Seattle when you expect them to be ahead, and I totally get that. Jorge Polanco. Fastball way high. Make it 1-1. Polanco's got all sorts of dirt on the pants and the jersey. He made a good diving stab in that second inning early with a good defensive play and toss over to Rayleigh when the M's were up 2-0. Another fastball does not get the call. 2-1. Tanner Scott does not look particularly sharp just yet in the zone, considering what the score line is. We'll have to see if that continues. 2-1 is the count. Polanco 1-2 on the day with a single. 87 on a curve that was not close enough. Again, those have been called strikes against the M's, but that one called a strike there. 2-2. 11 pitches as he's trying to get relief in the 7th. They walk Tristan Turner. Polanco 2-2 count. It's a good cut for Polanco, but he pops it up. It's a long run. Tatis can't get there. This one is going to break for the M's. Turner gets to second. Polanco gets to first. He kind of popped that one up in the air. Even with Tatis' speed, I'll have to look on the camera shot to see if he got a late jump. I can't imagine he would. He's a really good fielder. He was a former shortstop. 87. This one popped toward the right field side. Tatis, he was on his horse. Nobody was going to be able to get there. Not Solano, not Cronenworth, not Bogaerts, not Tatis. So runners at first and second. Mariners had the first 2 men aboard in the 3rd as well, off of the bunt base hit and a single. Bunt one for Robles. They couldn't get any runs. Julio Rodriguez punched out. J.P. Crawford, if it was last year, you'd say he could come through, but he needs to come through right now. So Dylan Moore, he could be the pinch batter here for Rojas, who was 9th. It's left on left here. And they think that J.P. Crawford can come through. He was very clutch last year. You got to channel something because you got runners at first and second with nobody out in the 7th. Crawford, 89. First pitch strike at 0-1. Try to work your way back into this game methodically. I don't even think a sacrifice will do here. I mean, you can't be that greedy, but still. 0-1, 97. That one just on the outside of the fastball. That was a really good looking one there. 0-2, nothing Crawford could do. It looks like Dylan Moore would be due up next. That's what Dan Wilson's going with. 0-2 against Crawford. Does not get the call on a fastball inside the zone. And J.P. Crawford's still alive. Bottom in the black in the zone. That's a huge call here. 1-2. What can Crawford do with it? Tanner Scott taking an extra look inside of the knuckle curve. That's very generous for the home plate umpire because the Mariners definitely should have one out. But now it's a 2-2 count rather than working on Dylan Moore here for Tanner Scott. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Mariners down 7-2. They need base runners. Crawford, he slashes a single. Are they going to send the runner? Yes, they will. The Mariners score Turner. It's 7-3. The lineup will turn over. Still runners at first and second with nobody out. Mariners have to try to continue to work their way through this thing. J.P. Crawford inside outs a pitch and slashes it down the third base line. Good work there off of 88, kind of split the plate, and his swing did not get too big. He kind of just put that right past Machado. Machado looked like he didn't even make a stab at it. He just watched that one go by. Crawford, that's a big at-bat for him. You know he's happy considering the type of season that he's had. And now they'll take a meeting on the mound. Scott is 16 pitches into his day. He does not look like the same Tanner Scott that we're used to seeing. I am not used to seeing him even taking inherited runners, let alone giving up runs, as there is nobody out still for the Mariners. And more are starting to get warm here. And Jason Adam, who's another one of those good leverage arms. So they might have to go between Adam Scott and Suarez. And the way that this started for Mike Shildt with the 7-2 lead, I don't think he even expected that at this point. So Dylan Moore. It is still runners at first and second. It was 7-2. Now it's 7-3. A couple more runs will make this ball game very interesting. Dylan Moore's got to come through. 96 outside. 1-0. 17 pitches in Tanner Scott's day, and he's not looked like his usual self. He could get out of this, though. He's good. Dylan Moore spiked in the dirt. 2-0 for the M's batter, Dylan Moore. This is very interesting now because Tanner Scott has been one of those guys that had a sub-zero type ERA. I mean, he's not even in the ones. 2-0. Hit high with a fastball fouled straight back. Career high 70 hits this season for the bench platoon and Dylan Moore. He plays infield, he plays outfield, a little bit of everywhere right now. He's trying to come through in a big at-bat to get the Mariners back into this ball game. It's 7-3. It was 7-2. High. Did he offer at it? They say he did. He went around. A little upset with himself there. Still 2-2. Again, you want to make sure you don't get too big. 207 average for Dylan. Runners at first and second, still with nobody out. 2-2 pitch. 89 gets the call. That one low as the strike zone starts to expand, but that one was pretty darn close, all things considered, and it was too close to take. So Moore does not come through there. Again, there was a pitch just previously alongside for J.P. Crawford that he should have been rung out on. So I think all is fair and love and war there. Victor Robles has been excellent in this game. Got a bunt base hit and a double. Try to get some more here. Big cut for Robles. Does not find the baseball, though. Make it 0-1 as he misses at 96. 7-3 ball game with runners at first and second for the M's. Trying to come through in a big leverage at bat. Victor. This one almost hits him on the inside off the camera cut. And we'll do it again.
New divers started, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, both third, no walks, 5 Ks. Get Jeremiah Strada, Tanner Scott.
Had to make sure I plugged my phone in here. 1-1. 88. Oh, gets the call. That one a little bit lower this time. And Robles 1-2. See, the one against Moore was pretty close. That one was maybe a baseball with a little bit low there. But that low strike is being called, so you got to watch there if you're Victor Robles. Anything close, you're going to have to swing at it. 1-2. This one high. Good pitch sequence there for Scott. Still 1-2, a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Followed straight back. I think that's exactly what you wanted to do there for the pitch sequence. Try to catch Robles snapping. 7-3. Runners are first and second, 1-2 with 1 out. Mariners trying to come through in a big spot. Oh, did not get the. See, that should have been strike 3 again. So J.P. Crawford able to get through one. See, that one was a strike, but the one below that was not. So I guess right where we are again, even the announcers are laughing on this side. So I know I don't feel bad because I'm about to be calling a strike 3, ring them up. But 2-2 now. Mariners get another breath at this. Victor Robles, 2 for 3 on the day. 87 on a knuckle curve. It's a full count. Julio Rodriguez has been due. He's had ducks on the pond all day. And, man, he would love to come through, possibly with the bases loaded if Victor Robles finds a way to walk or anything else. We'll see. Full count pitch against Robles. Stays alive. Just gets the bat head out in front of a curve at 88. Good at bat here for Victor Robles so far. Might have got a little bit fortunate, but I'm not going to put that against him here. That's the way it is. You got to dig in, especially at this point late in the game, because the outs are at a premium. They got 8 left. Robles waiting on the 3-2. Scott, 29 pitches in his relief appearance so far. He walked him. The bases are loaded for Julio Rodriguez with 1 out in the 7th. Are we really going to see? I don't know if I can speak this into existence, but we saw it in the 9th with 2 outs with Parker Meadows. What about the 7th with 1 out with Julio Rodriguez? Mike Shildt says, give me the baseball. I think they're going to bring in Jason Adam, the face. Julio Rodriguez with the bases juiced. Don't go anywhere. 7-3, Padres.
The Virginia ham is a lot of labor of love, a lot of steps. We smoke it low and slow, old school, the old-fashioned way. We take it out, put it back in the smokehouse, and all that delicious flavor again. Okay. And then we coat it with more spices. Back in the smokehouse. And then it's done. It's ready to eat. Slice at the deli. The right way. Even if it's the hard way. It's a man of few words. Dietz and Watson. It's a family thing since 1939.
Toyota has 17 hybrids more than anyone else, including the best-selling Camry, best-selling RAV4, and best-selling Tacoma. Toyota is electrified, diversified, and the choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places. This is a 24/7 kind of place, and that's where the Ford Escape SUV comes in, the ultimate getaway vehicle. With available driver assist technologies like pre-collision assist with automatic emergency braking, and Blitz, the blind spot information system with cross-traffic alert to help get away from it all. You got this with Ford Escape.
Easy Plan trade-in customers can lease their 2024 Escape for $279 a month for 24 months at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealer today.
Hey guys, ESPN Bet is here. Finally, a sports book from your favorite sports brand. Now you can take in all this ESPN content and with a couple of taps, add a market you see in the ESPN app to ESPN Bet. Download today.
Pivotal point in the game right now. Mariners 7-3 in the rears of San Diego with the bases loaded. Julio's been spraying the ball all over the yard in this 11-game hit streak, Brian. And man,
Yeah.
oh man, they need a knock here.
Yeah, the three, again, the one inning, the 100-run call are the big ones for him. I know they've been playing on a ton. You know what? In this situation, one out there in the seventh, just hit something once out to a grass, keep this thing going.
Get under control. Ground out to short, strikeout looking, ground out to third.
Jason Adam, the new pitcher of record. Tanner Scott put the Padres in hot water, but it's still a 7-3 lead. Bases juice for Julio Rodriguez, trying to come through in a huge spot. We'll take 85 on a changeup. That one below the belt, 0-1. Julio Rodriguez has had runners on the pond a couple of times here in this game. He's got a little too big on these swings. He needs to come through, though. This could be the Mariners' best and only chance. Over through the ground on the fifth, 95. Kind of one-arm shot puts that thing at 95 for the pitch release in the sense of it in Julio Rodriguez. And we'll take that one just outside, 1-1. Anybody that's a Mariners fan right now with the rally caps are definitely standing here. 7-3, but could tie this ball game with one swing. Julio Rodriguez, giant uppercut at 79, does not find it at all. And that's what I've noticed in this game for Julio. He's just really trying to go for the downs. It's not under control here in this one today. Still got one more strike to play with. 1-2, bases loaded, one out. Julio does not offer at the 95. Make it 2-2. Just trying to come through in any way possible right now. Cal Raleigh, it would be up next as long as Julio does not hit into a DP. He can't do that right now. 2-2. This is a bouncing ball. Boy, oh boy. Julio Rodriguez, that is a killer. Hits into the double play, and the Mariners turned away. 0 for 4 with a double play. They had something going, and they had Cal Raleigh on deck. That's all erased. Let's go to the eighth.
Casino. The crown is yours.
Toyota has 17 hybrids more than anyone else, including the best-selling Camry, best-selling RAV4, and best-selling Tacoma. Toyota is electrified, diversified, and the choice is yours. Toyota, let's go places.
Let me guess. You're one of those underdog guys. Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking it straight up on ESPN Bet tonight. How you gonna bet against the superstar quarterback? Superstar. Always with the superstar. I got fun.
Well, I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that I did not get hacked on this side and somebody's controlling my computer. Because I did hear something plugged back in. But I hope not. Because we are all back on the computer side, at least. That scared the living daylights out of me. All right, now that that's done, I guess let's just go to the eighth, and I hope not to even think about it. Boy, oh boy. So Edward Bizzardo will be the new pitcher of record here for the Seattle Mariners in the eighth. That was rough because the M's had an opportunity. J.P. Crawford got an RBI single. Bases were loaded with one out in the bottom of the seventh. and Jason Adam had to come in relief of Tanner Scott, who did not have his best outing, did not have his best day, did not look like himself. And Adam was able to induce the double play on Rodriguez, who I believe is now 0 for 5. And he just didn't have a good day, but Rodriguez hasn't either. And that is why we are where we are right now. It's 7-3 Padres, and it still opens up the possibility, should Mike Shildt want to do so, in the sense of having Robert Suarez get a chance to close it. Big uppercut swing. Bizzardo able to get the strikeout on Bogaerts. Bogaerts' day has been a little bit hit and miss as well because he struck out and grounded into 2 double plays. And we'll look back on that side of our order here. John and I with you on the solo call. Glad you can join me this in the midnight side of September 11, 2024. Is it kind of interesting that my computer flashed on us right on the September 11th side of it? I don't know. You tell me whether you believe in all that with the computers and everything else. Jackson Merrill will be the one to send this one back at a 290 average. 23 home runs, 83 RBI, 72 runs scored, 25 walks, 93 strikeouts, 16 stolen bases. Yes, this is a 21-year-old rookie. Looks like he might get the Offensive Player of the Year as far as the rookie side of it, at least. That's where I would go. Cole Keith, I know I like him a lot for the Detroit Tigers, but Jackson Merrill has been an absolute beast. He's been a game changer alongside the San Diego Padres. 1-1. Bizzardo trying to make sure that the score stays right where it is. That has not been a particular strength of the M's. We talk about how good the pitching staff is. That only really relies on the starters in the mix of Luis Castillo, George Kirby. You have a few other ones in there, Brian Wu that you can throw out there, Gilbert. All those guys are great, but the bullpen side of it's kind of been hit and miss unless you're talking about Andres Munoz. 2-2 is the count on with Bizzardo. Merrill is 0-3. That probably means he's due, considering how good he is. So that is something to think about. 2-2. That was a good snap on a curve, but Merrill went right with it. Able to get the bat head just toward the left field side. That almost could have been home run distance down the left field line at 331. Able to stay right with it off the breaking ball. That's good adjustment there. It doesn't matter fastball, breaking ball. Fastball up and tight, or the breaking ball is down and away. Jackson Merrill has good plate coverage from the times that I've seen him a few times already. That is a knuckle curve way down low at 3-2. And Merrill trying to work a walk. Mariners haven't given up a ton of those, but the mistakes that have been made are the ones that have been hit hard. A couple home runs. Manny Machado waited for the 2-run single. He's got a 4 RBI day. Merrill. They say that he offered. I thought he didn't there, but Merrill's going to punch out. I'll take an 0 for 4. I think we'll certainly take it in the win. Not normally you would see that for Jackson Merrill. That's awfully tough on a call there. Just barely put it across the zone. Good enough to punch out. So Bizzardo now going to have to deal with Donovan Solano. He has had an excellent day. 2 for 2, couple singles and a walk. He has driven a full count all 3 times in his plate appearance so far. Again, we never talk about him hitting for a lot of power because he does not. But he kind of plays as a Luis Arraez light, if you want to put it in that regard as far as what he can show you. Really hasn't any problem getting a 95 up in the zone either. Might have followed it straight back, but he's getting the bat there. Just be able to get the pitches that he wants down, that he can drive to the first or third base line. 2 singles, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Pretty excellent work there for Donovan Solano. 294 up the updated numbers. This is a jam. Third base side, Dylan Moore waiting for Rojas. And the Mariners get that one 1-2-3. They're down to their final 6 outs. 7-3. Raleigh, Rosarina, and Rayleigh due up next.
Your weight is influenced by many factors, including genetics, lifestyle, behavior, environment, and even relationships. The process of losing weight is not a game of fad diets and exercise. It involves a full lifestyle change.
Jurickson, SUV, engineered to not only help you do, but to help you feel all the way. The all-new Mazda CX-7.
Be right back, and we'll get to the bottom.
Every detail designed around you.
Let me guess. You want to know Thunderbolt guys? Everyone loves an underdog. I'm taking it straight up on ESPN Bet tonight. How you gonna bet against the superstar quarterback? Superstar. Always with the superstar. I gotta find me a new guy. We'll see you tomorrow.
We love the new place.
Great space for watching games.
Nothing better than baseball.
There were a few concessions.
Get your hot dogs here! Hot dog! Hot dog!
Hot churros! At least Geico makes it easy to bundle our home and car insurance.
Popcorn! Cotton candy!
We already have food.
Oh, I'll take cotton candy.
You got any bubble? For bundling made easy, get more with Geico.
Mariners Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by UW Medicine. Top-ranked research, care, and learning working together to improve your health. UW Medicine, a higher degree of healthcare. And by Visa Credit Union, member-owned, community-focused. Aaron Jones' supercharged team playing here at the ballpark. Trying to get the Mariners going here as they trail 7-3. Bottom 8. There's Gallerale. Jason Adam can run it up there. Cal with a home run back in the first, his 30th. Since then, a fly to left and a ground out to first. There's a challenge.
Kind of sneaky too, see that umpire. That deception comes out of nowhere. It's a ton of swing and misses at the top of the strike zone.
Going to get set to close this one out pretty soon. Jason Adam back out on the mound against Cal Rowley. It'll be 3-4-5 for Dan Wilson's squad, but Rowley already up against it 0-2 as we just jump back into play-by-play. That at 89 off the changeup, way low. Rosarena and Raleigh will be due up next. The bottom 8. The Mariners need runs. They had a really good opportunity in the 7th. They did score one to make it 7-3, but bases were left loaded after Julio Rodriguez hit into a double play. Raleigh will smash this one right to Solano. That's tough luck there. That was a really good hit for Cal Raleigh. Just found the glove. Wave it up to Randy. Former Tampa Bay Ray, again, as he mentioned, normally 290, 260, somewhere around there. In the sense of a Rosarena, when you get him in the postseason, he turns into a completely different player. You kind of think of that in this same stretch with about 17, 18 games left, that you got to find that sort of Randy Rosarena there. Try to jumpstart him however you can, because that would lengthen this order. And essentially, that's what Seattle was trying to do at the deadline, to continue to try to work with this group to ignite them, to find a way to get in the postseason, but it's just not working. Whether they had to fire Scott Service and move on and put Wilson in as they did, but you got to be thinking either some sort of batting coach or philosophy or whatever it is. It's too much for home runs. There's not enough leverage there as far as just trying to swing for base hits or looking at pitches you should hit and do damage on them. I don't know what it is, but being 30 out of 30 and somehow having a worse batting average than the White Sox, who only won 33 games this year, I don't even know how that's possible. So you got to imagine there's going to be some changes in the offseason, whether or not there's buyouts or not. That's just me, but I think I have to say it that way, because if I wasn't, I'd be lying to all of you. 2-2. Now Rosarena against Adam. Pitch clock now down to 4. It is 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. Mariners are down to their final 5 outs. This one will not stay fair. And Machado throw this one back across to a fan and we'll start this one again. So 4 runs is not impossible, but as I've had said on the broadcast, you start putting that kind of situation pressure on the Mariners, more than likely than not, they will not find a way to come through because it's just asking too much. Arraez swings and misses on an off-speed pitch. That was a good cutter on the inside part of the black, and he gets taken away. And Luke Raley will be the last hope in this bottom of the 8th before we will get a chance to watch the Padres one more time. They really don't need any more runs. However, they're at a point where they do or don't want to use Robert Suarez because 4 outs isn't technically a save, but you just don't want to mess around. Israeli 1 for 3 with a solo home run in the second. Swings and misses on a curveball, make it 0-1. 240, 19 bombs, 50 RBI. 240 is really good considering the averages of most of the Mariners right now. They're in the low 200s. They're barely around the Mendoza line for some of these. J.P. Crawford, in fact, is underneath it. So, and then you got Mitch Garver, who was, let's just be honest, about a 275 hitter for Texas here before, is 168 now for the M's. He's pretty much unplayable in the sense of it. You want to throw him as a DH? He's not much of a catcher anymore either, and he's still signed for one more year, $24 million. So there's a lot to think about there. And toward the face, we're backing away from Raley, 2-2. He does have 3 home runs in his last 8 games, as that brushed him back at 95. Still 2-2 count for Adam, trying to go 2 innings. Tanner Scott already threw his amount of pitches all through 1 inning. He's about 30. This one will be fouled back and don't play umpire. No problem, though. Doesn't look like he'll need an extra second, or either will Raley. There's a good chance to dig right back in. So Adams ready with the Gashioka, 2-2 for the second time. Does not offer it as Raley. 3-2, full count leverage here. Justin Turner, former Dodger, Red Sox, would be next. Again, they picked him up at the deadline. 252 this year, 9 home runs, 45 RBI. Way outside, not close. Adam did not get Raley to chase whatsoever there. And they'll bring it up for Justin Turner. Now for Turner and Polanco, especially for Turner, if you made this 12 years ago, this would be different, but he's 39 at this point. And Ore Polanco up next is batting about 204. So there is a little bit to work with in name value, but the extent of the damage that's actually been done this year is not so much. That's the way I have to throw it out there like that. 22 pitches in Adams' day. So at least for the M's, I would say in this 2-game series, they have made Scott and Adam work. That's a good thing. So you kind of wonder what's going to be going on as far as bullpen availability for tomorrow, if you want to use that as the positive side. Everybody needs some positive side. And then the Astros lost to the Athletics in extra innings. So that just means that the division lead is going to stay right where it is at 4 for the Astros. So Robert Suarez is getting warm. They're not messing around with him. Remember, last time I saw him, he gave up a grand slam with the bases loaded and a full count and 2 outs to Parker Meadows. So I don't know if Parker Meadows is going to be able to teleport here toward the Mariners, but whatever they can, if they can make Suarez work the way that they've made Adam and Scott work, you can also take that as a good thing. So Justin Turner, as we get a meeting from the pitching coach, it's set to dig back in. And now Adam will try to keep the 8th inning clean. 2nd inning of work. So Turner's got Raley at first, and the curveball misses high. Make it 1-0. Mariners are down to their final 4 outs, down by 4. It's a 7-3 ball game. Thank you for joining me, jumping in and out between the Twitter X space and the YouTube side. Turner went out to try to get that fastball. That would have been a ball nonetheless at 95 up in the zone, and he followed it straight back to make it 1-1. I see some Dodger hats in the crowd right now. So again, they're just looking to see if the Padres will win or lose, I guess. On that side, they wouldn't be happy if the Padres won. Spun away from what could have been called a strike, but that one was high off the curve, and this one was Good look there for Turner. Good eye. He'll lay off on that one. He's got count leverage at 2-1. Still a threat to hit a home run here or there for Justin Turner. 2-1. 95, and that one does split right back. And talk to the home plate umpire there. He said, "Hey, man, are you kidding me? I mean, that one is at least a baseball width outside. Strike zone's been a little inconsistent outside. Called for strikes, a little inconsistent down. But when they've been close, they've got a baseball width and a half, you better swing." So timeout. Turner's going to get back on his P's and Q's and make sure he doesn't get the plate umpire a little bit too upset here. 2-2 is able to steal a strike there. Turner trying to come through here with 2 outs in the 8th. 96, that one was even farther out. I don't blame Adam there. You got to make sure you can see how far you can go. It's kind of what you talk about in the play-by-play side of it. They mention that a lot, and I think anyone that doesn't does a little bit of a disservice there. Full count. Runner will be off with the pitch, and Luke Raley outside. So a couple walks here for Adam. That is what happened alongside Tanner Scott. You mess around too much, you might find out. And Shildt going to go to the mound. He might ask Suarez to get a 4-out save, in a sense, in a 4-run game. I know it's not a save, but I don't think he's going to mess around here. This game's too important as far as getting late in the year. I think Robert Suarez is going to come more pitches. He'll be coming out. Try to get a 4-out close. Come right back.
Yeah, we'll take it. I go to wait, what? They want somebody that can run for you, not somebody that is for you.
So it looks like Robert Suarez is going to come in. Again, it's still a 4-run lead for the San Diego Padres as it's at 7-3, but you don't want to mess around too much here.
With a wide range of perennial shrubs, fruits, vegetables, and so much more, our nursery has the unique variety of locally grown plants you need to create beautiful and charming landscapes. Grow your vision with Windridge perennials and landscaping.
You going up. You stay late. You work hard to gain a competitive edge for your business. BBB accreditation boosts credibility with your customers, and it increases your visibility online. How's that for a competitive advantage? Thousands of customers visit our website every day, ready to hire trustworthy businesses like yours. Rise above the competition. Apply for BBB accreditation today. Visit bbb.org to learn more.
It's a 5-9 iron. The CX experts at 5-9 custom made it for me. Why do you have a CX company make you a golf club? Because they make contact feel effortless.
No way. AI-driven CX for effortless contact.
Bears baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Home Street Bank. Make sure your money is working for you with a CD from Home Street. Visit homestreet.com/dugout for rates. Member FDIC. And by your local Ford dealer, home of the F-150, America's best-selling truck for 47 years.
So as we check back in, bottom 8, 2 outs. Mike Shildt has gone to his bullpen. No more Jason Adam, Robert Suarez. It's not a 4-out save situation, but that's where we're going to be right now. 4 outs here for Robert Suarez. My advice to Jorge Polanco is this: swing early, because Suarez tops about 102. He's not afraid to dominate with the fastball throw up high. Polanco probably knows this on this side, but got to be prepared for that. So back-to-back walks. Now put Suarez and try to finish this one out in the 8th. Mariners have runners again, first and second with a couple of walks. We'll see what they can do here. It was Luke Raley and Justin Turner with walks. And now 99, Suarez, 2-ball count, 2 for 3, 2 singles for Jorge Polanco. So Polanco's got the leverage, but until Suarez throws strikes, I don't know if he's swinging here. He goes out of the zone at 98. That would have been 3-0. 208 now, as he was about a 204. His average shot up about 4 points considering. Got a couple hits today. 2-1 Robert Suarez. Again, it's a fastball, knuckle curve, changeup. It's got a 3-4 pitch mix that he'll normally kind of go with. And he can be very nasty. 100! This one right at Donovan Solano. Hit it very hard, just like Cal Raleigh did. All it's going to result in is a tough luck out. Let's go top 9. 7-3 Padres.
Great DraftKings offer and NFL Plus. I feel like I'm just scored.
Best touchdown dance of all time.
Probably didn't even know about this. It's old school game.
Oh, you want old school?
I see what you're doing.
Oh, you don't see that. You don't want this heat.
No, man, there ain't heat to hit you with this right here. Get nasty on touchdown. I know that's gonna work.
Get up.
With DraftKings, new customers get $5 to get $250 instantly in bonus bets and a month of NFL Plus premium. The crown is yours.
We took the best-selling truck in its class the past 19 years and made it better with trail-dominating power, legendary capability, and high-end performance. Now it's your turn to go messing with a good thing. The 2024 Tacoma from Toyota. Let's go places.
And the Mariners Champ Foundation auction is live right now, so you can bid on jerseys from Manor Hall of Famers, including Junior, Ichiro, and Edgar, and more. Proceeds are going to benefit Fossey Home, the nonprofit partner of the Mariners Academy of the DR, and many actors Impacted Kids Foundation. So bid now at mariners.com/auctions. Pizarro had a nice 8th inning. He's out there for the 9th. Hopefully get another 1, 2, 3. A couple of strikeouts and a ground out the 3rd.
So Bizzardo's back out there right now for the M's. Bogaerts, Luis Arraez, and Fernando Tatis Jr. The superstars have pretty much scored all the runs for the San Diego Padres. You got 4 RBI day for Machado. You got 3 RBI for Tatis. That's where we are. 7-3 Padres have the lead. And really for the M's over the last few weeks, we talk about, again, the starters, the numbers start to get elevated a little bit, but throughout the year, starters have been good. The bullpen actually not been very good on that side. So for Bizzardo to go out and get 6 outs, I think that matters a lot right now. To have someone that you can go to be able to get some outs. That was a good-looking slider, but that one was outside the zone. 1 and 2. Again, with some of the voices I'm hearing on this side, it kind of makes me think of Seattle Kraken hockey. And in about another month or so, I'm hoping a couple months from now, I'll be a chance to see them against the Chicago Blackhawks. Trying to get those plane tickets. And I keep mentioning that, but I'm very excited. I think it's going to happen. I'm just waiting on a net here. I'll try to finish that one off because I really would like to go. But Bizzardo able to get the strikeout against Higashioka. Now it'll be Luis Arraez. Arraez already has a couple hits today, a couple singles. What would you expect? That's what you're going to get. We're just trying to see whether or not he's going to strike out. This one is going to split the gap. And, man, he can absolutely – I don't know if you want to say rake because he doesn't hit for power, but that is Luis Arraez's 3rd single of the day. Man, I would just love to have him in the batting line. If you play fantasy baseball, you just know exactly what you're going to get. I understand singles aren't worth as much as everything else, but take the batting average. He's already shot that up a couple points today with 3 base hits. It's just what he does. So Fernando Tatis, you know what's always nice is you got Luis Arraez leading off, and then you go in between Tatis, Profar, and Machado. I mean, you have all the security that you would want as far as your lineup to be able to do them to have doubles, free them up to go ahead and draw for power or whatever else you want to do. It frees them up to do whatever they want to. What I'm trying to throw out there for Tatis, and that is why you can get a little nasty on your swings if you want, because Arraez is going to be able to do the job. And Arraez, let's say he comes up with the bases loaded or somebody else, he's not going to change his approach. It's single or walk. I mean, that's what you're going to get from him. And he's always going to come through more often than not. So 1-1 count. Zardo gave up the single to Luis Arraez, but who does it? I can't blame him for that. 2-1. Fernando Tatis just one hit in this game, but his 3-run tank gave the Padres the lead, and they have not looked back. They've led since 3-2. It's now 7-3. The Mariners opened the game with a 2-0 lead, courtesy of solo shots from Cal Raleigh and Luke Raley, but that's it. That's where they are right now. So, unless we get a double play here, that'll be Jurickson and Profar. I wish get one more opportunity, but man, Luis Arraez, can't wait to watch him more. Should see him make the postseason. They are absolutely ridiculous. And now this pitch does not get far enough away. Arraez doesn't run all that well, but he was already sliding back to get to the base, so no problem there off the toss over. It does use a disengagement technically, but it could have been a lot worse. 2-2 against Tatis, who's 1 for 4 today with a 3-run tank. Pizzardo, 96. This one low. And I'm glad they mentioned it too. They said Ichiro, Tony Gwynn, and Rod Carew. That's what I say all the time, in the sense that there may be Ichiro a little more power there, but a little more speed. 82. This is Victor Robles. Have to play this one off the hop. And no problem there for Tatis. Hit that one like a folding chair, and that one just died as it ducked in the right field side. So the 3-run homer, and now a single here for Tatis. Just superstars in this lineup. And again, we talked about in the last write-up in between the Tigers when they won with the Parker Meadows Grand Slam. But for the GM alongside for the Padres, kind of have to do that because you play in the NL West alongside the Diamondbacks, who made the World Series last year, and then Shohei Ohtani, Mookie Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, everybody else on the Dodgers side. If you don't load up, you're probably not going to win. So there really is no excuse. Profar will follow straight back to first base line at 96. Keep himself alive. 2 for 3 with a double, single, walk, and a run scored. He's had a nice night alongside a lot of the San Diego Padres. Again, we expect them to hit. I know Seattle has an elite pitching starting staff, but does not change the fact that you could put the San Diego Padres in a mall phone booth on Black Friday and still find a way to hit the baseball. That's just the way it is. They're never uncomfortable. And how could you be with this lineup that you have? Manny Machado, they're showing him 0-2 against Profar. We'll cue this one following the left field lineup, a changeup at 82. Staying alive. Mariners had chances, as they've mentioned, with runners in scoring position first and second. They've had a lot of chances there, but they struck out a couple hard hit balls alongside Rosarena or Turner or Cal Raleigh that turned into outs at first base. Profar 97 miles an hour straight back against the screen. Fans have started to leave a little bit at T-Mobile Park, considering what the scoreline is. 7-3, 1 out. Runners are first and second, top 9 as the Padres hold on to this 4-1 lead. Robert Suarez looks like he's going to finish this entire game. Profar, this is a good swing, just shy of the warning track to right field. Tagging is Luis Arraez. They'll go from second to third. Tatis will stay at first. And Manny Machado, who already has more RBI than the Mariners have runs, has another opportunity to drive in runs here. If he should hit this out or clear the bases, he'll just get 6 or 7 RBI, depending on what he does. He's got 4 right now. 2-run single, 2-run home run. That's his day right now. As Pizzardo getting long in his outing, 30 pitches into his second inning of work. 2 outs. Runners at third and first are Arraez and Tatis, respectively, as Raleigh was on the crouch. Make it 1-0. That at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Machado, 277, 26 home runs, 94 RBI. This is our T-Mobile Park in Washington. John, I'm here with you on the solo call tonight. Thank you for joining me. Big swing and a miss there for Machado. A little late on a fastball below the belt. Make it 1-1. Again, they showed this in the last part of Root Sports, 25 or more home runs in the last 9 seasons for Machado. He's a premier power bat, but he's a premier defensive play at third or short. This one was a giant swing on a curveball. He did not find it. Make it 1-2. He was caught out way out in front and messed up on the timing there. Pitch number 34. He's trying to be done with his day, Bizzardo. In the 8th and 9th. Trying to keep the score right where it is at 7-3. Huge shot. Good play by Raleigh off the stab. Steps on the bag himself. The Mariners down to their last 3 outs. It's 7-3. We'll see if the M's can put the Tridents up. Crawford, Moore, and Robles. 8-9-1. 2 up in the 9th.
Step up to the plate with Xfinity Internet. Get super fast and low lag streaming for an incredible viewing experience inning after inning.
So once this game is done, hopelessportsguy.wordpress.com per usual. I'll have the complete game story for you. We've already gone through the scoreboard and everything else across. Now all that is left is to see whether or not the Mariners make a comeback. If not, they'll fall to 4 games back on the side of the wild card and in the sense of the AL West.
Grow your vision with Windbridge Perennials and Landscaping.
Tigers stay right where they are at 3 because they won and the Twins won as well. The Twins occupy the last spot of the wild card in the American League. That is probably their only avenue to get in, guaranteed, because they're not catching Cleveland. Seattle does have another opportunity to get in because the Astros lost today in extra innings of the Athletics, so they'd be pretty much 4 back on both sides of the division and the wild card. Tigers, really their only avenue is the wild card. Same thing for the Red Sox. Red Sox also lost today. So Tigers stay 3 back, and the Mariners and the Red Sox, should the Mariners not hold on and score some runs here because they're down 7-3, they would lose ground in the wild card alongside the Red Sox. Tigers stay where they are at 3 back. 3 more outs to get, though. For Robert Suarez. Let's get back into the official play-by-play. 7-3, bottom 9. Padres have the lead. Since they've had a 3-2 lead courtesy of Fernando Tatis' 3-run dong on the right field side, that is it. And they've had the lead since then. Manny Machado had the next 4 RBIs with a 2-run home run and a 2-run single. So J.P. Crawford gets set to deal. It's a fastball in toward the legs of J.P. Crawford. He had the last RBI for the M's as he shot it down the third base line and batting 8th. His average now should be right at the Mendoza mark. Another 98 as this one crowds him inside, 2-0. So it will be Dylan Moore 9th, unless they want to do any other sort of pinch hitting and then Victor Robles at the top. Certainly not taking Victor Robles out of this game the way he's been swinging. 98 right down the middle will come and get it fastball, and he was not ready for it. 2-1. M's down 4. They got 3 outs to work with in this bottom 9. Pitch clock down to 5. Get the sign from Higashioka. 99. This one a little higher in the zone at another mile per hour. And J.P. Crawford swings late. He will use his disengagement to step out, try to get an extra breath here. Suarez could probably go with an off-speed pitch if he wants to, but he loves to challenge with the fastball. So I would not be surprised if he did so yet again, considering Crawford's been swinging late. That at 99, cued to Machado, but it doesn't elude his glove. 2 outs left to get for Suarez. This would be huge for the Diamondbacks because they could at least maintain their spot. Take another live look at the scores before we're done today. I think everything else is done. So Diamondbacks get a 6-0 win. They blank the Rangers. That will be the M's next opponent after one more game with the Padres tomorrow. So Padres Diamondbacks maintain their spot should this hold. Mets lose a game with a critical 6-2 loss to the Blue Jays. That's your live score. And wild card positioning will be lost for the M's and the Red Sox with losses today unless the Mariners get a comeback with 2 outs left in the ninth. And the Tigers will stay right where they are. But for the M's, they don't lose any positioning in the AL West because the Astros lost in extra innings to the Athletics tonight. So that's still 4 games there. So not all sad news for M's fans, but still, you got to find a way to get some wins. This one followed straight back, make it 1-2. Suarez trying to get 4 outs and finish this one off for Mike Shilt's squad. So the Padres can maintain a 1.5 game lead in the wild card in the National League. So big for both teams. Got about 17, 18 games left on the season. 98, no chance. That one up in the zone, it was a strike, and Moore was not close. And this will be left up to Victor Robles. Otherwise, the M's are done tonight. They'll fall to 73 and 72. The Padres would improve to 82 and 64. Again, as I've covered them on the last week and a half of the Padres, I don't really see a weakness on this team. I'm just being honest. If they were not playing in the NL West, I think it'd be a different story. It's the most competitive division in all baseball. I think they're doing just fine. I think they're going to do considerable damage in the postseason. You never know with the wild card, but it's best of 3 nowadays. Robles, another base hit. That's his 3rd of the day as he gets a couple singles and a double. A bunt base hit, a single, and now a double, and now a latest single there. But I'm tongue-tied myself. So a bunt base hit, double, and now a single as he keeps it alive. Julio Rodriguez might want another opportunity to get to the bat rack. I know he's had an awful day tonight, but it's his 5th 3-hit game this season for Robles. And Julio really wants to come through, and why not? This went in toward the hands. I think for Julio Rodriguez, if I pull up in my notes right now and scroll all the way down as far as what's left live, he's 0 for 4. Garnered a double play in the 7th, which could have absolutely changed the game. He could have tied the game with a grand slam. Doesn't want to go 0 for 5, but he took a big cut, got on ahead of the changeup at 91, if you want to call it that, but that's what it is because the fastball gets to 101. So there's a lot of Padre fans. They're getting up and they're clapping right now. They're enjoying themselves. They're traveling very well right now. Swing and a miss. Julio Rodriguez punches out, 101, and the Padres win this one 7-3. Julio Rodriguez goes 0 for 5 tonight with a couple strikeouts and a double play. It's a rough one tonight for M's fans, but they do not lose ground in the AL West. Just a little bit in the wild card. Padres stay right where they are, game and a half up. I'll see you Thursday for Red Sox, Yankees in that matchup because that one's pretty close. And then Saturday will be the O's and the Tigers. And I think on that one I might sweat a little bit more considering that's my home team. Good night, everybody. I will see you Thursday. Peace.